And I have gone through all those papers and I have learned that there is a certain pattern in the papers. And if you understand those patterns, you can easily qualify this prelims examination. So the agenda for today's meeting is that we'll discuss 2011 paper, first 50 questions. And in coming days, daily 50 questions we will discuss. We'll discuss the way the questions are framed, how the logic is applied, then what can be the probable questions that can be framed from the options. I have also prepared some notes on wrong options as well. So I can share with you. We can discuss that here. There are some students from Tamil Nadu also, so we have to conduct this session in English. They have specially requested me, and we'll try to conduct both in English as well as in Hindi. Okay. So let me introduce my mentor also. My mentor was Amol Lanke, and he is also helping me in this session. Our main motive was, okay, voice is breaking. Just bear with me. For in a like it will be streamlined. Okay. Okay. So the main motive of this session, conducting this free initiative, is that I personally belong to a village background and I was not having mentorship or that kind of guidance in my initial days. So I understand that how students feel in these 30 days. These 30 days are full of pressure and stress. We are so confused that what to read, what to skip, and what focus to be given on PYQs, how to solve them, how they are important. And we focus more on private coaching tests. And whenever we go to the examination hall, we realize that the paper is totally different. So the importance of these UPSC previous year questions is that you should be familiar with the language of UPSC. Okay, the options that UPSC has given are so important that in upcoming examination they frame the question from the same options. So options and their analysis is also important. The session is also recorded and it will be posted on the group. So those who are not able to join this live session, they can watch the recording afterwards. Okay, so I was discussing with this with my mentor Amol Lanke, and we came with the idea that we should give some, like we should give back to the society, and how we can do that by providing them daily test that can be solved by the students daily. Then some analysis sheet that you can do your self strength analysis, weaknesses analysis, and the mistakes that you are making, and proper analysis of your mistakes. Then we'll conduct some Zoom sessions and we'll also conduct some tests, full length tests of GS as well as CSAT based on some famous coaching tests. They conduct like Abbas test or any other like tests are being conducted by some famous coachings. We'll conduct same tests, but that would be totally free of cost. That you have to print those papers and you have to solve at your own place. We'll provide some solutions also. Okay, so this was about the sessions. And without further delay, let's start with today's paper. Okay, today we will discuss 2011 paper. And see, let me tell you. So this is not a coaching, or I'm not going to teach you anything. I assume that you have revised everything. And if you are not revised, I'll tell you how questions are being framed, and this will make you comfortable. That I'm pretty much sure. Okay, so how to read the paper. I am sharing the screen and I'm sharing the papers that I have already solved. Okay, so I am studying these papers since last 3 to 4 years. So whatever I have done, and I have by using those notes, I have cleared this examination. You are going to see those papers only. So this is going to help you definitely. And if you solve those papers seriously, okay, if you solve those papers seriously, this is going to help you a lot. The sessions will be recorded, don't worry, and the recording will be provided. Even we'll post this recording on the YouTube channel also. So if anybody is not able to watch this live right now, don't worry at all. Okay, so let's begin with today's paper. If voice is breaking, just let me know. Okay. We have a proper internet connection also here. So this is 2011 paper, and the idea is that I am reading the question. I'll tell you the tricks also in between, and you just note it down. And after ending these 50 questions, you can just read those and apply in the next 50 questions. Okay, and we'll have some 5 to 10 minutes of question answer also. Then you can ask me if you have any doubt. And anyway, students are sending me personal messages. I'm also replying them. So I'm available for you till the prelims, and even after prelims also, I'll guide you in the mains also. So don't worry at all. Don't be panic. Don't be in stress. Just relax and try to understand how questions are framed, how they are useful, and how simple it is. See, we think that UPSC frames very difficult question, but in reality, how the pressure situation is so tough that even simple questions they seems like tough questions. Okay, so the first question of 2011 and 2011 paper. In the Union Budget 2011-12, a full exemption from the basic custom duty was extended to the bio-based asphalt, bio-asphalt. What is the importance of this material? Now, prima facie, you will see that this question comes from with reference with the Union Budget 2011-12. If somebody will feel that this is current affairs question, what is the purpose of this question to discuss here? We have to understand the trick here that I have written, the word association. The first trick that I'm going to tell you, the first logic is that world association. World association means that if a question is framed by UPSC and the theme of the question is suppose here is bio-based asphalt, then there has to be some relevance or some relation in the options given. So bio-based means something organic, right? Something renewable, something natural. That is we called bio-based. So if you read the first option, unlike traditional asphalt, bio-asphalt is not based on fossil fuels. It is but obvious. Fossil fuels are non-renewable, so that is why it is known as a bio-based asphalt. Then second option is bio-asphalt can be made from non-renewable resources. Non-renewable means fossils. It is nothing but a fossil. Now, if you observe such type of statements in the question, those who are solving this paper for the first time, they should note it down. Like UPSC gives such type of options, contradictory options. For example, one statement is given fossil fuel, another statement is talking about renewable, non-renewable. Okay, they are contradictory to each other. So these contradictory statement they will never be together. So when in options you can see that one and two, in last also one and two they are together. So we can directly eliminate those options. And first statement is correct. So without reading the last three statements, you can mark B as your correct answer. So this is how you can solve the paper. But you should read all the options. You should not skip any option. Okay. So option number 3 is bio-asphalt can be made from organic waste material. And that I have told you earlier. Bio-based means something that is organic. So the statement is correct. It is eco-friendly. That is why it is called bio. Okay, so anything is bio, that is eco-friendly. So third and fourth statement is also correct. So the answer becomes B, 1, 3, and 4. Here I am also telling you the rule of maximum that I used to call it. Whenever you are trapped in such options, for example, we have eliminated how to choose between these two. Okay, one option out of 4, they are saying 2 and 4 only, and one option 1, 3, and 4 only. So most of the time, the chances are the maximum options are mentioned. That is correct. The chances are there. Okay, this is based on see. If you trying to find out the logic and science behind this, you will never find it. This is purely based on the observation and the paper that I have solved since 1979 onwards. I have find out that this is the pattern of UPSC. The rule of maximum that becomes correct option. And in coming questions, you can find this pattern also. Okay. Now, the question that can be asked from this question is that bio-asphalt, bio-bitumen, and how the student they are asking me how to analyze the papers. Okay. What I had done this. If you can see on the screen. Okay. Bio-asphalt production and use. How it is produced, how it is used. Okay. So conventional asphalt that use petroleum, that means non-renewable, and that is toxic. So that is why bio-asphalt came into the picture. It is made from the non-petroleum and renewable resources. Application part of the question. I'll always remember the positive applications are always correct. Okay, and whatever you, if question is asked on application of environmental concept or application of any scientific concept, and it is a positive application, then that positive application is always correct. Always remember. If any application that is causing harm or that is the cause of concern, then you have to think on that option. Okay, so bio means that has to be something good for the environment. So you need not to read all the options. That is, if there is something positive, something good, then that has to be correct. Then there was a bio-bitumen concept was in news. Bio-bitumen, that is also used for the road construction and all. And nowadays environment friendly and non-toxic bio-bitumen is also produced. If they have asked question on bio-asphalt, they can ask question on bio-bitumen also. So if question comes on bio-bitumen, you should not be confused. It is nothing but a material that is used for construction. And bitumen is made from waste vacuum tower bottoms produced in the process of cleaning used motor oils. Okay. Now bio-bitumen concept is also arrived. That you have to remember only these three things. The next question is, consider the following. And this type of questions, see why I am taking 2011 as first paper is that the pattern gets evolved, and you can observe that the wrong options or options mentioned in the many questions. Next year, the question is framed using those options. That we have to understand how questions are getting repeated, how themes are getting repeated. Carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, and oxides of sulfur. Which of the above are emission or emissions from coal combustion? Combustion means something is burning, okay, from thermal power plant. Now we can see that if anything burns, gas emits, and all three mentions are gases. So this is very broad question. You should not go in detail, or you should not question that question. Okay, it is very simple. If anything is burning, the gases will be emitted, and that will be released in the air, and you cannot measure which gases are present or which are not. So carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, oxide, all the three gases will be emitted from the thermal power plant, and that's why answer becomes 1, 2, and 3. The theme of this question is coal. Okay, if you understand, UPSC asks so many questions on the theme coal. So you have to read everything about coal. Okay, coal production, coal-based thermal power plants, emissions, whatever government is doing in coal mining. Okay, so that you have to read. And in further question, I have also mentioned in my notes also. Then I'll read that also. Further, the oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfurs, these two, that are responsible for the acid rain. And this question also came in further paper. So that you have to observe from the paper. Okay, the common sense I have written here. The most important logic and trick that we should use while solving the paper is our common sense. Okay, think broadly. Don't go into the deep. Okay, think broadly. And that you have to note it. Okay, next question is geostationary orbit. A satellite is said to be in such an orbit when the question is asked on the satellite. Okay,
Good
orbit.
evening, sir. Sir,
This is
am I
favorite
audible, sir?
theme
Your
of
voice is
UPSC,
breaking.
orbits and satellite, that I have written here also. And this question can be solved by use.
Hello, sir. Sorry to interrupt you in between, but your voice is very in the
Audible now.
breaking mode. To some extent, but not clearly.
Okay, 1 second. One second. Am I audible now?
No, sir, your voice is breaking.
No, sir, your voice
Ah,
is still breaking.
now it is clear, sir.
Am I audible now? Please confirm
Yes,
once.
Now, sir, it is
sir,
clear.
now it's fine, sir.
I hope it is clear now. Okay. It is being let me know.
Sir, it's clear now.
Yes. So we were on question number 3, and this type of question can be solved. Yes. Okay. So we were on question number 3, and I have read already the question. Question is on the theme of science and technology, and in science and technology, the favorite theme of UPSC is satellites, their orbits, and types of satellites. UPSC generally ask at least one question on this topic. Okay. So
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, please just
yes. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are.
yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Let's start. Okay. There was a disconnection. Okay. So third question on satellites. So the option, if there are 4 options given in the question, so just given in the question. Generally, think about the examiner's mindset. Examiner try to kill your time. Okay. And this is a competitive examination. So, but obviously you have to be very alert. Whenever more than 3 options are given or 4 options are given, I used to read from the bottom. Okay. And if you read the last option, the orbit is at an altitude of 22,236 kilometer. Okay, here a number is given, and always remember, if number is given, it is a red flag. Okay, you have to doubt that number. Okay, now you have to take the risk. Rest of the options we can read. The orbit is geosynchronous. Obviously, geostationary and geosynchronous, they are matching. The orbit is circular, and this is where your knowledge comes into the picture. If you talk about some observation satellite and telecommunication satellite, so telecommunication satellites are in geosynchronous or geostationary orbit, and observation satellites are in polar orbit. So the orbit is circular. The orbit lies in the plane of the Earth's equator. That is why it is called as geostationary or geosynchronous. Okay. So here UPSC has played a trick. They have changed unit here. Okay. If it is 22,236 miles, then option it would have be a right. Even UPSC could have written here 35,000 kilometer also. That would have also been right. So if you eliminate the 4th option, you arrive the right answer. And here rule of maximum is also placed questions. Now question number 4. India has experienced persistent and high food inflation in the recent past. व्हाट कुड बी द रीजन। अब ये क्वेश्चन कभी भी आ सकता है, ये इस टाइम पे भी पूछा जा सकता है। ओके, नाउ ड्यू टू ग्रेजुअल स्विच ओवर टू द कल्टीवेशन ऑफ commercial crops, the area under cultivation of food grains has steadily decreased in the 5 years. Steadily means continuously they are decreasing, there is no at all increased. Okay, so this type of adjectives, steadily increased or steadily decreased, you should always doubt that keyword. Okay, if there is anything written as steadily increase or steadily decrease, it is always wrong. There are some exceptions, but most of the time it is wrong. And if you eliminate that first option, you can arrive at the right answer, but you have to read all the options. As a consequence of increasing incomes, the consumption pattern of the people have undergone a significant change. It is very very common sense. अगर लोगों की इनकम बढ़ जाती है, obviously they will increase their consumption. The food supply chain has structural constraints which are present now also. The structural constraints are always there, and here I can show you the trends also. The constraints in the food supply chain. What are those constraints? The fragmented supply chain, inadequate cold storage and warehousing facilities, logistic issues are there, slowdown in the production growth, large informalization of the agriculture, underdeveloped processed food market, fragmented market, lack of applied research. These are some constraints, structural constraints, and this is question of mains also. This question can be asked in the mains GS3, the mains syllabus once. You can solve these type of questions, and by using the common sense and logic. Logic here is adjectives. Okay, elimination technique and some odd adjectives. Adjective was steadily increase or steadily decrease, and there is always rule of maximum you have to remember. Now, one thing that you have to remember is that very rarely there are all of the above correct or all of the above incorrect. Very rarely. You only if there is an application and that application is also positive, then there is answer lies in all of the above. Otherwise, there has to be one option incorrect in the question. And our as a student, our tendency is that to go for the all options. If we don't know anything, we mark all of the above. And examiner knows that our mindset. That is why these type of options are set here. Okay. If question is on food crops or food inflation, we should know what are the various food crops, and question comes on that frequently. So there are 3 cropping seasons: Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid, and these are crops that I have mentioned here. For Rabi, there is time period of the crops are sown in October to December and harvested in April and June. Wheat, barley, you have to remember wheat and barley. These are important crops. Peas, grams, mustards, they are grown in the Rabi cropping season, and the important states are given here. Then Kharif crops, which are sown in summer, June, July, and harvested in winter, that is September, October. Most important crops are rice, cotton, groundnut, soybean. UPSC generally asks question on these. And Zaid crops means seasonal fruits and vegetable crops. They are sown and harvested in March, July between Rabi and Kharif crops. So that you have to very basic thing that you have to remember. Rice and cotton is favorite topic for UPSC. Rice, cotton, sugarcane, and wheat. So if you want to read about crops, read about these 4 crops in detail. You will definitely solve the questions. Okay. The next question. Next question, and which is very favorite theme of UPSC, that is biotechnology and genetics. At present, scientists can determine arrangements or relative positions of genes or DNA sequencing on a chromosome. How does this knowledge benefit us? DNA technology का benefit क्या हो रहा है, ये हमें पूछा गया है यहाँ पर. Okay, so this is the theme of UPSC, gene and biotechnology. Now here one logic that I have to tell you: can or possibility. If these 2 words are there in the option, then that option most of the time is correct. Whereas you have to be very alert. Sometimes the word is written can or possibility is also written, but that is absurd statement or that is extreme statement that you have to cross verify. Okay, if someone has tell you if there is a can or possibility, then that is always correct. You should not apply like that. You should always apply 2 or 3 logics at the same time. Okay, now here I can prove that It is possible to know the pedigree of livestock. There is nothing wrong in that. It is possible. It is possible to understand the causes of all human diseases. If the statement is like it is possible to understand the causes of human diseases, but they have mentioned all the human diseases, and all human diseases are not related to the DNA or genes. Some diseases are bacterial, some viral, so we cannot understand about them. So this is a extreme statement. That extreme statement has to be eliminated. It is possible to develop disease resistant animal breeds. That disease resistant animal breeds can be developed using this. And again, rule of maximum is also there. Okay, so the right answer is 1 and 3. The question got repeated in 2022 also, and based on this thing, and I can tell you some additional information on this. Okay, there are some breeds that you don't have to go into detail, but there are some breeds that you should know. So Angul, Jersey, Murrah, these are some breeds. Okay, indigenous dairy breeds are Gir, Red Sindhi, Sahiwal. Indigenous broad breeds are Hillary, Parkour. Okay, so these are some indigenous breeds that you should know. Okay, next question. It is similar to next question is question number 6. Okay, in terms of economy, the visit by foreign nationals to witness the 19th Commonwealth Games in India amounted to. Now, कुछ ऐसे क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जहां पे आपको अपनी सोच को ब्रॉड रखना है, like very broadly you have to think, and economic questions are like that only. So there are some students who message me, sir, economy is very tough and what should I read and what should I not. See, economy, there are only 6 to 7 themes on which UPSC asks 13 to 14 questions. That themes you should understand. The basic economy, if you understand, and application of economy, the questions I guarantee you can like every question of economy that will be like that will give you 100% marks. Okay, in this, in terms of economy, the visit by foreign nationals. Now foreign nationals are visiting India. They are bringing dollars along with them. Okay, अमाउंटेड टू एक्सपोर्ट. नाउ एक्सपोर्ट के बाद क्या होता है, जब हम एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं तो इनफ्लो ऑफ डॉलर होता है, राइट? डॉलर आता है. इंपोर्ट करते तो आउट डॉलर इज experiencing outflow. Production and consumptions, this is not related to only export or import, that is also associated with domestic economy also. So answer lies in A and B. When foreign national comes to India, they bring dollar along with them. That means there is a inflow of dollar and it amounts to export. And UPSC has also given this answer. This is basic economy, very basic economy. The next question about microbiofuel cells. This is similar to the first question on bio-asphalt, that type of question only. Microbial, what is microbial? Microbial means something microorganism related. And UPSC in, I think last year, they have asked question on microorganisms and application of microorganism in GS3, Science and Technology, water purification. So microbials, see, UPSC prelims questions are not important, not only important for the prelims, they are important for mains also. So you have to go through all the previous year questions thoroughly. They will definitely help you in the mains as well. Okay. So microbiofuel cells are considered a source of sustainable energy. Why they are considered as this? Okay. They use living organisms as catalyst to generate electricity from certain substrates. That is why this is called microbial. The meaning of microbial is living organism. That means the first statement is correct. They use a variety of inorganic material as substrates. Now, opposite word is mentioned here. We have seen in question number 1 that whenever there is something written bio or microbio, that means that is something organic. Okay, and read about examiner's mindset now here. We have to learn this from this option. How examiners thinks. The very easy way to make any option wrong is that making the main keyword exactly opposite. Here, the keyword was organic. He has not taken the efforts. He has just made it opposite by using the word inorganic instead of organic. And we do not read carefully. We mark this, and someone has said that if science and technology is there, mark all of the above. No, Even in recently, you can see that 23, 24, 25, there are science and technology application based question, and UPSC in their official answer key, they have not given all of the above. Some options are correct and some are incorrect. Even in 2011 also, it was there. Okay, you have to read every option very carefully. Here, inorganic was the wrong, and that's why it got eliminated. If you eliminate it, you remain with these two options, 1, 1 and 3. Rule of maximum always apply. They can be installed in wastewater treatment plants to cleanse water and produce electricity. Yes, can be possibility. अभी भी मैंने बताया आपको, and possibility है, and something positive is also there. So that is why it is correct. The same question was asked for the 2024 mains water purification. Okay, that is why the correct answer is C. Now, if we see the detail, microbial cells, they uses the bacteria. This is how it works. Okay. Under sunlight, plant produces sugars and oxygen from water and photosynthesis. Okay. You don't have to go into detail, but I have just highlighted that you can read. I will share this with everyone. Some of these sugars are excreted by the roots as a waste product from the plant, and soil microorganisms break this down further, releasing energy. यहाँ पे energy release होती है, and that is used. The London Zoo has used plants to power camera traps and sensors into the wild. They have achieved by installing microbial cells in peat and fern. Okay, तो लंदन जू ने ये ऑलरेडी एक्सपीरियंस किया हुआ है. वेस्ट वाटर ट्रीटमेंट टेक्निक्स क्या क्या है, ये भी मैंने नोट्स में लिखा था. दैट इज व्हाई I could write that answer very nicely. Biological treatments are there. Aerobic digestion, for example, oxidation of the effluents and anaerobic waste minimization. Chemical treatment is also there. Direct chemical oxidation, photo-oxidation, photocatalytic oxidation. Okay, and destruction of the organic compound by sonication. मतलब ये बस नाम याद रखना है आपको कि ये there are some methods of water purification. Sonication, wet air oxidation, supercritical fluid oxidation. UPSC can give only these three. What are these statement? What are these terms are related? एक सिंपल क्वेश्चन बना देगा, बट हमने कभी पढ़ा नहीं होता है, सो वी स्किप दैट. सो सिंपल है, याद रखना है. बायोलॉजिकल ट्रीटमेंट, केमिकल ट्रीटमेंट, फोटो ऑक्सीडेशन, सोनिकेशन, वेट एयर ऑक्सीडेशन आर रिलेटेड टू वेस्ट वाटर ट्रीटमेंट टेक्निक्स. Okay, and there are some incidences. For example, there are indoor incidences happened, and water related incidences are there in always in news. So this become an hot topic for the UPSC. Then there are some legal mechanisms for wastewater regulation in India. What are various acts and laws that are used? Okay, the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. बोर्ड्स एस्टेब्लिश किए गए वाटर पोल्यूशन के लिए. कंट्रोल CPCB. Then question comes in 2018. CPCB is a statutory body based on the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act. The Water Prevention and Control of Pollution says 1977. This is also one of the important legal provision for this. Okay, the option and the questions that are useful for mains as well as prelims. Now you have only 29 or 27 days. You don't have time for analysis. I am here to help you. So trust this process, trust these sessions, attend these sessions very seriously. If you have any doubt, I'm available there. Amol Lankes sir is always available there. And our another mentor, Saurabh sir, is also available there. So we as a team are working for you guys. This is totally free of cost. Our duty towards society, towards aspirants like you. Okay, we don't expect anything in return. We don't want anything. We want you work hard. We are there to help you. And we belong to a village background. We know the importance of the like this type of guidance. I never had such type of guidance, or that is why like initial days we face so many struggles and challenges to clear this examination. But I want that you should not face this. Okay, so instead of enjoying this like holiday type of days, I'm like shifting to my village. I'm taking their room on rent and taking this type of sessions. Okay, so you should also take it very seriously, and we are there to help you. The next question, question number 8: which one of the following statement appropriately describe the fiscal stimulus? Very beautiful question, and you can learn so many things from this. So how to think broadly? I have written here broadly. Some keywords are written on every question. You should think broadly in economic question. Okay, economy is such a subject that you should think very broadly. and you can make every question right. There are 4 options given. It is a massive. And now fiscal stimulus. Fiscal. You have heard about the word fiscal deficit or fiscal in budget, fiscal policy. Now fiscal policy or fiscal deficit वगैरह ये जो कीवर्ड यूज होते हैं, that are used for the overall economy, not just a part of economy. That are used overall economy. It is a massive investment by the government in manufacturing sector to ensure supply of goods. Now, this option is talking only about manufacturing sector, and the option question is asked on fiscal stimulus. Fiscal means there has to be something broad, something about national level. Next option, it is an intense affirmative action. Affirmative means positive of the government to boost economic activity in the country. मतलब ये broad statement है, ये overall country की और economy की बात कर रहा है. Affirmative action. So you have, by using the fiscal stimulus, they are going to boost our economic activity. Now, if you read the third option, it is government's intensive action on financial institution to ensure disbursement of loan to agriculture and allied sector. Now, first statement was talking about manufacturing. Here they are talking about agriculture. It is an extreme affirmative action. Extreme affirmative. They have given only extreme word here. By the government to pursue policy of financial inclusion. Again, financial inclusion is a narrow statement, means something about talking about some sections of the society. There are some sections of society they need financial inclusion. The broad statement is here, and that is why it is correct. So this is how you should read the statements. You should think broadly in economy. Okay. The next question number 9. The favorite theme of UPSC in climate change is ozone. Ozone depletion, Arctic as well as Antarctic, the reasons and the solutions. The formation of ozone hole in the Antarctic region has been a cause of concern. Now it is a cause of concern. Something negative. Okay. Cause of concern, ये keyword आता है तो immediately याद रखना है, there has to be something negative. What could be the reason for formation of this hole? Antarctic region में ozone hole हो रहा है. What would be the reason? Presence of prominent tropospheric turbulence and inflow of chlorofluorocarbons. Now you have at least 20 to 25% knowledge about it. We know that ozone hole and ozone lies in stratosphere. Okay. Presence of prominent tropospheric turbulence. यहाँ पे troposphere की बात हो रही है. Ozone lies in stratosphere. You have to read each and every option very carefully. Presence of prominent polar front and stratospheric clouds. यहाँ पे stratosphere की बात हो गई. And inflow of chlorofluorocarbon that we have already read in environment notes. Absence of polar fronts and stratospheric clouds. Here they are talking about presence of polar front, and here talking about absence of polar front. Extremely like exactly opposite statements of each other. Now here is the trick, and always remember that if you find such type of statements or words in the option, they are exactly opposite to each other. It means that either of the statement is the correct option. And this type of question will come in upcoming test and upcoming papers, that you will definitely observe and definitely believe that whenever there are such type of words or such type of statements and they are exactly opposite to each other, the answer lies between them only. Okay. So, but obvious, because of the prominent polar front and stratospheric clouds and inflow of the chlorofluorocarbon, there is a formation of ozone hole in the Antarctic region. So this is the correct answer. Those who get confused between the two options, for them it is very important to identify those two options. Okay, so you should not be confused now. Next question number 10. Consider the following actions which the government can take. Devaluing the domestic currency, reduction in the export subsidy, adopting suitable policies which attracts great FDI and more funds from FIS. Which of the above actions can help in reducing the current account deficit? Now, if you read, current account deficit is also a favorite theme of economy. There are 6 to 7 themes, out of which this is one of the theme. Okay, current account deficit is associated with import, export, and inflow and outflow of dollars. So if current account deficit is more, it means that dollar is going out. So usko kam karna hai. So we have to increase the inflow of the dollars. And by devaluing the domestic currency, there is an increase in the export. Always remember this relation. Okay. This is policy of China also. China generally devalue their currency to increase the export. Okay, and domestic currency को devalue करके export बढ़ता है, export बढ़ेगा तो dollar आएगा तो current account deficit कम हो जाएगा. So first statement is correct. Reduction in the export subsidy. Now, if you do not give export subsidy to our producers or manufacturers or our traders, there is decrease in the export. So if there is a decrease in the export, that means dollar inflow will be reduced. And if dollar inflow will be reduced, current account deficit will increase. That is means it is exactly opposite. So option number 2, it gets eliminated. So you remain with the two options, 1 and 3, and you have already derived that option number 1 is correct. So you don't need to read this option. So directly D is the correct answer. And if you observe, rule of maximum also plays here, 1 and 3. Still we can read adopting suitable policies which attract great FDI and more funds from FII. Obviously FDI अगर आता है इंडिया में तो वो डॉलर के रूप में ही आएगा, मोर फंड्स आएंगे, डॉलर आएगा एंड करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट जो है कम होगा. So this is very easy, very logical. By using common sense and alternative options, you can solve these questions very simply. Now, the question number 11 regarding the polity. Now, always remember for this subject, polity, there are no logic, no tricks for this subject. Just remember that. The 15 to 16 questions that come from the polity that you have to solve based on knowledge only. There are no logics in the polity. This is the only exception. This is the only subject where no logic plays, no tricks, no logic, nothing. Just remember that. And this particular question, UPSC has given the wrong answer actually. Okay. The Constitution 73rd Amendment Act 1992, which aims at promoting Panchayati Raj institutions in the country, provide for which of the following? Constitution of District Planning Committee. District Planning Committee comes under Article 243 ZD, which is introduced through 74th Amendment. The question asked on 73rd. State Election Commission, Article 243K, that is correct. Establishment of the State Finance Commission, that is 243I, that is also correct. So logically the answer should be 2 and 3 only, but UPSC in their official answer key they have given 1, 2 and 3. So even UPSC makes the mistake. Always remember 1 or 2 questions. Even this year also, if you remember the question on budget in 2025 prelims, UPSC has given the wrong answer. Okay, so this type of question can come in the paper. You have to revise M. Lakshmikant. Okay. The next question, question number 12. 2 important rivers. This is based on knowledge, but see how your previous year questions help you. You can find out from this. 2 important rivers, one with its source in Jharkhand and known by a different name in Odisha. These rivers are Brahmani and Baitarni. In Jharkhand, it is known as Brahmani. In Odisha, it is known as Baitarni. Merge at a place only a short distance from the coast of Bay of Bengal. Short distance from the coast of Bay of Bengal before flowing into the sea. This is an important site of wildlife and biodiversity and a protected area. Which one of the following could be this? Bhitarkanika, Chandipur on Sea, Gopalpur on Sea, and Simplipar. Now we can easily mark Bhitarkanika as the correct answer because of the coast of Bay of Bengal. This was the keyword here. Coast of Bay of Bengal. Now you can find out what was the famous on the coast of Bay of Bengal, important site for the wildlife and biodiversity. 2 rivers are merging there. I mean, they are creating some delta, and there should be some like marsh, that type of area have to be there, and that is Bhitarkanika. Bhitarkanika is very famous. Okay, if you don't have any knowledge about this at that time, but in further examinations, the questions have been framed by using these 4 options. Okay. Chandipur on Sea. Chandipur on Sea. The question came in 2018 or 19, and people thought it was mentioned on the Kit Kat wrapper, and they started eating Kit Kat. But no, it was not on the Kit Kat. It was given already in 2011 question, Chandipur on Sea. And if you read about Chandipur on Sea, I'll tell you that here. Okay, Chandipur on Sea. Chandipur is a beach in Balasore district of Odisha. The beach is located on the shore of Bay of Bengal and is approximately 16 kilometers from the Balasore railway station. The beach is unique in a way that water recedes up to 5 kilometers during the ebb tide. This was the question, and that question was asked in 2018 or 19. That you have to see how the question is framed. You can see here the logic and the power of previous year question. Due to its unique circumstances, the beach supports biodiversity, and horseshoe crab is important here. Found on the beach towards Mirzapur, the nearby fishing market. Okay, horseshoe crab is very famous. It is 240 million years ago. It was evolved here. Okay, and horseshoe crab is found in intertidal zone, and it was like horseshoe crab को पकड़ा जाता है वहाँ पे because it was used for the fertilizers. Spring tide को low tide बोलते हैं, and neap tide is a high tide. Okay, ebb tide or flow tide, it is the same. Geographical concept is also there. Okay. Now this was about the wrong option, that is Chandipur Sea. Similarly, Gopalpur Sea was also there, but is not of like too much significance. Then Simplipal. Simplipal become very, very important. Simplipal is a biosphere reserve. It is a tiger reserve. Okay, and it is a part of Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve. Remember this. The question can be framed on Simplipal also. Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve, which is in Odisha. Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve is made up of, or it is composed of 3 important areas. One is Simplipal Tiger Reserve, second is Hadgad Wildlife Sanctuary, and third one is Kuldiha Wildlife Sanctuary. So that you have to remember these names. Okay, Simplipal Tiger Reserve, it is famous for the silk tree. Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve, famous for iron ore, and Simplipal is also a biosphere reserve. That you have to remember. Now, Bhitarkanika, you can read more about Bhitarkanika here. Bhitarkanika National Park, and it is famous for saltwater crocodile, which is now least concern. Even another crocodile, that is Ghadial, critically endangered, and Magar, it is vulnerable. Okay, Ghadial are not found here, but I am telling about the crocodile family. Has been increased in the rate of species. Annual census hota hai wahan pe. Even you can find white crocodiles in Bhitarkanika. That is known as albino crocodiles. Okay. The peak winter is the ideal time to carry out the census, as it exposes more than 50% of the mud banks. Bhitarkanika National Park, ये रामसर साइड भी है. Okay, and Bhitarkanika is surrounded by Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary, Gahirmatha Beach, and Marine Sanctuary. Now, which are the rivers here? The national park and the wildlife sanctuary is inundated by the rivers Brahmani, Baitarni, Dhamra, and Patshala. Now, these Brahmani and Baitarni river, now I have understood about them. They are originated in Jharkhand and Odisha and associated with Bhitarkanika. The question came in 2023, and they have given 4 options. Which of the following rivers originate from the Eastern Ghat? And you have read about Brahmani and Baitarni from 2011 option. You understand how questions are solved. Okay, within a second you can solve this question. Similarly, about Gopalpur Sea, there is nothing special about it. Okay, all weather port hai bas yahan pe. And if UPSC frames the question, they can frame on the Simplipal Tiger Reserve. Okay. Next question number 13. Basic conceptual question is there on economy. For economy, you can use Shankar Ganesh, which is very, very good book. You can go through the concepts. 6 to 7 chapters are there, and you will definitely mark all the options correct. All the questions you can get it correct by using that book, which is very important. I have already uploaded my short notes, which are 29 to 30 pages in the group. You can use those notes for your revision. I have only used those notes for my prelims. A rapid increase in the rate of inflation is sometimes attributed to the base effect. What is the base effect? Base year, इसके बारे में आपने सबने पढ़ा होता है. It is the impact of the drastic deficiency in the supply. We have to think very broadly. Crops is one of the part of economy, sector of economy, agriculture. It is impact of surge in demand due to rapid economic growth. Base effect हो रहा है. It is impact of the price levels of the previous year on the calculation of the inflation rate. This is the exactly correct answer. And there is no logic in some questions. You have to use your knowledge, basic concepts. Not every question is solved on the basis of logic. You have to read something. You have to read, but you have to read very basic concepts. Microeconomy, NCRT book or Shankar Ganesh. That will help you. Next question number 14. India is regarded as the country with demographic dividend, and the question came on in the mains as well about demographic dividend. Why? It's high population in the age group of 15 to 64 years. Now, in one question, they have given about 15 years. In another option, they have given about 65 years. Here is the middle path. If anyone is confused, go with the middle path. It has high total population. तो absolute statement दिया हुआ है. Demographic dividend इसलिए बोला जाता है because high population in the age group, working group, 15 to 64 years. Now, question number 15. I am going to tell you one logic here about the parent organization. Always remember, if UPSC is giving parent organization, means any body with respect to that concept, UPSC has a habit to change that parent organization, and generally it is incorrect. Regarding carbon credits, which one of the following statement is not correct? And here also you have to be very alert. Not correct. UPSC has asked not correct. The carbon credit system was ratified in conjunction with the Kyoto Protocol. That you have to, and it is very basic. Kyoto Protocol, UNFCCC. Carbon credits are awarded to countries or groups that have reduced greenhouse gases below their emission quotas. Yes, that is also correct. The goal of the carbon credit system is to limit the increase of the carbon dioxide emission. Obviously, carbon dioxide emission कम करने के लिए ही है. Carbon credits are traded at the price fixed from time to time by UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. Now, price का fix करने का काम UNEP का है ही नहीं. And it is very favorite theme of making options incorrect, changing the parent organization. Here UPSC has changed it, given the name of UNEP, and D is the wrong answer. And they have used not correct, so we should go with the D. Any problem up to here? If anyone has any doubt, so we can
No,
go
sir.
ahead, right? Okay. Are you understanding what I am telling you? Are you getting my points?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So let's move on to the next question. This is this question based on value-added tax. It is not relevant now. Okay, as GST has come, so we can skip that question. Question number 17. A closed economy is an economy in which. अब क्लोज इकोनॉमी मतलब क्या? नॉर्थ कोरिया जैसी इकोनॉमी जहां ना इंपोर्ट होता है ना एक्सपोर्ट होता है. सिंपल है. ठीक है. The money supply is fully controlled. Deficit financing takes place. Only exports takes place. Neither export nor import takes place. That is called as a closed economy. Simple. This is basic concept. Just remember it. Closed economy means they don't have trade with any other economy. Within that country, everything is happening. Okay. Question number 18. This is also very basic science, general science question from the NCRT. Okay. No logics, no tricks here. You have to read general science. There are some subjects that you have to read. And question, this was also repeated question. And the question was asked in some state PCS. When the bark of a tree is removed in a circular fashion all around near its base, it gradually dries up and dies because roots are starved of energy. Okay, the basic concept that you have to go through, xylem, phloem, that concepts that you have to read. Okay, I will not explain all this. Biology and botany and NCERT that you have to read. There is no logic in this. Now this one is the New Start Treaty was in the news. Now there are some questions UPSC give quote unquote like this and some abbreviations. Start. There are some full forms of this type of questions. If these type of letters or abbreviations are given by UPSC and expansion is not given, you have to find out those expansions in the options. And if anything that is matching with that letter, that means that is the correct answer. If abbreviation and expansion is also given directly in the question, then you have to find out some word association or theme matching along with it. So here we can see that the New START treaty was in the news. What is this treaty? It was in news in 2011. Even it was in a news in like recently also. Its associated treaties were also in news. So it is a bilateral strategic nuclear arms reduction treaty. Arms Reduction Treaty (ART). Now here also ART is given. It is multilateral energy security cooperation treaty among the members of the East Asia Summit. It is treaty between Russian Federation and European Union for the energy security cooperation. It is multilateral cooperation treaty among BRICS countries and the promotion of the trade. Here, USA and Russian Federation that become most important. Also, the ART is matching with the this here. So I would have gone with option number A. So reading comprehension type questions comes sometimes in the like current affairs, and we think that I have not read these current affairs, so I should skip this. You should use this type of logics. You should use the common sense and the expansion. And this type of question you will find in like R2 practices. That question came in 2017 or 18. That was also matching with that expansion. Okay. So right answer is A. And I'll tell you more about this START treaties also. Treaties between US and Russia. Okay. So in 1972 to 1977, there was SALT 1 treaty. After that, there was START 1 treaty. It lasted up to 2009. 2003 to 2011, there was this SALT or Moscow treaty. Okay. And after 2011, it was in news, the New START treaty. So these are some treaties associated with USA and Russia. Now you can read about these treaties. Further, Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty (INF). INF treaty is another treaty that was signed during Cold War between US and Soviet Union 1987. Okay? In 2019, United States withdrew from this treaty. Okay. The term strategic offense arms applies to nuclear warheads deployed by strategic nuclear delivery vehicles. Okay, इतना याद रखना है आपको. What is strategic offensive arms? Now there was East Asia Summit mentioned in the option. We should know about East Asia Summit. Okay. East Asia Summit. India's External Affairs Minister has represented India at 15th East Asia Summit. When I prepared those notes, that was in news. So you should remember Hanoi Declaration with respect to East Asia Summit. Okay. East Asia Summit it was established in 2005. Is a premier forum in Asia Pacific region. Asia Pacific, Indo Pacific are very important with respect to security, defense, and everything. Who are members of East Asia Summit? So ASEAN members plus 8 members. उसको आपको याद रखना है खाली. And just remember, India and China are members of East Asia Summit. Here, China, Japan, India, New Zealand, Republic of Korea. ये सारे लोगों का नाम आपको याद नहीं रहेगा. But you can remember that ASEAN countries and 8 members, and in those 8 members, China is there, India is there, and even Russia and US is also there. That you have to remember. India is a part of East Asia Summit. Nowadays, they ask the question whether India is part of it or not. Okay. Next is European Union. You have to read more about European Union. That was also in news recently. European Union is made up of European Council, European Parliament. Then there is a Council of the European Union. Then European Commission is also there. European Central Bank is there. Euro crisis happened. Brexit. And in 2020, there was a virtual summit, European Union summit. Okay. So these are some important things. Then there is International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor, ITER. And it is funded by 7 member entities. India is also member. China and Russia is also member. Okay. बस इतने ही बात याद रखनी है आपको, उससे ज्यादा याद नहीं रखना है. हेडक्वार्टर उसका फ्रांस में है. ब्रिक्स दिस वाज आल्सो इन न्यूज. ब्रिक्स के बारे में भी आपको पता होना जरूरी है. मेंबर कौन थे उसके बारे में आपको पढ़ना है, क्योंकि ये प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन में मेंशन्ड है. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज 3 of the following criteria have contributed to the recognition of Western Ghat, Sri Lanka, and Indo-Burma regions as hotspots of biodiversity. Okay. अब जैसे हमने देखा कि 6 ऑप्शंस दिए हैं और हमने पहले फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन में देखा कि जब बहुत ज्यादा ऑप्शंस होंगे, मोर देन 4-5 ऑप्शंस होंगे, हम बॉटम से पढ़ेंगे. Adoption of flora and fauna to the warm and humid conditions. That is very weird, and it is we have never read this type of statement in whenever we have read about hotspots of biodiversity. We can directly eliminate that, and you can directly arrive at the answer. That is why I told you why you should, if there are more than 4 to 5 options, you should read from the bottom. The wrong option lies at the bottom. Whenever there are more than 4 or 5 options, okay, most of the time, this is not a thumb rule, but 85 to 90% times you can find the wrong option at the bottom only. So what is correct? 1, 3 and 5, that is alternative. Species richness is there, endemism is there, and threat perception is also there. You should also remember the pattern also. Okay, if first option is correct, most of the time immediate second option is incorrect. That you can find in further questions. Based on your observation only, trust this. If you observe this pattern, then only trust this. Don't trust because I'm telling you. If first option is correct, second has to be incorrect, then third will be correct and incorrect. This type of pattern also there. Okay, that is based on my observation from 1979 onwards question. This is mentality of examiner, that you have to observe this pattern and then only apply. Next question, question number 21. Human activities in the recent past have caused the increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, but a lot of it does not remain in the lower atmosphere because it escaped into the outer stratosphere. Now you have read the basic topic atmosphere from 11th NCERT. Atmosphere, gases, ये टॉपिक आपने पढ़ा होगा. इसमें क्लियरली मेंशन्ड है स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर में ओजोन होता है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड नहीं होता है, वो ट्रोपोस्फेयर तक ही होता है. 99 more than 90% gases are present in troposphere. So first statement is wrong. So if one is wrong and one is given in only one option, option number 1. This is also one of the observation I have found. Whenever any option is given only in one option, for example, this option number 1 is given only in A, it is not given in B, C or D anywhere, that means it has to be wrong. It is never correct. That is one of the observation. If you find out this type of options again and again, then trust this. Okay, mark this, write it down, and find out such type of questions and try to solve it. The photosynthesis by phytoplankton in the ocean, that is correct. That is why they absorb or like carbon dioxide released in the atmosphere. 2 has to be correct. If 2 has to be correct, means D is wrong. You remain with the 2 only, and 2 and 3 only. The third one is the trapping of air in the polar ice cap. Okay. Now here, this question becomes tough. In exam-like situation, we have seen that rule of maximum and all, and you can mark 2 and 3. And in this way, we can like make this statement, make this question wrong. So there are some collateral damage also while applying the logics. Okay, but you have to use your common sense. The trapping of air in the polar ice caps. Air trap नहीं होता ice caps में. Carbon जो होता है वो trap होता है, हो जाता है वहाँ पे. Okay, so the correct answer given by UPSC is 2 only, the photosynthesis, and UPSC has given option number 1 and option number 3 as wrong. Okay, the pattern you have to remember. Wrong, right, wrong is there. Okay, so this is very basic question. The source is of this question is 11th NCERT. For geography, geographical concepts, just read 11th NCERT multiple times and you will surprise that you have solved all the questions correctly. Every question from 2011 or before that also, they have came from 11th NCERT as it is. UPSC just copy paste it. And you can find out so many questions in further papers also from these topics. The next question, question number 22. In the context of ecosystem productivity, marine upwelling zones are important as they increase marine productivity by bringing the. This type of question, they can be solved by using common sense as well as knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, use your common sense. See, what is they are saying? ecosystem productivity, and marine upwelling zones. Upwelling means you have seen water movements chapter in geography, and upwelling, downwelling, you have seen that. Upwelling means the water from the bottom of the ocean, they come upwards. That is upwelling. Whenever that water comes, it carries nutrients from the bottom. They carry only nutrients, nothing else. Option number 2, you can find nutrients comes to the surface. When nutrients comes to the surface, phytoplanktons and that production increases. That's why marine productivity increases. So option number 2 is correct. They are saying that decomposer microorganisms also come to the surface. No animal movement, no animal or no biological any movement happens because of this upwelling. So bottom dwelling organisms, they live at the bottom. If they come at the surface, how they will survive? Tell me. The bottom dwelling organisms are called as the benthos. They are evolved to live at the bottom, and at bottom there is a temperature, very low temperature, and dark, no light is there. They are evolved to live at that environment. When if they come at the surface, they will definitely die. Then how it will increase the productivity? So that becomes absurd. So option number 3 becomes wrong. 3 you can eliminate here. And option number 1, decomposers also do not come along with the only nutrients comes. Okay, that is why option number 2 is correct. Just remember this. Again, here you can find out the pattern. Now this is also very favorite topic: tropical rainforest, Amazon forest, and like every year there is one question on this topic. Every year in 2021, UPSC has repeated this, and there is a logic here. If a tropical rainforest is removed, it does not regenerate quickly as compared to tropical deciduous forest. This is because. Now I have written the logic here. Find out the opposite statements or words that we have seen in one question above also. If there are two statements exactly opposite to each other, answer has to be between them. Read these A and D. You can find that the soil of rainforest is deficient in nutrient, and D is the exotic species invade the fertile soil of rainforest. Here it is saying that it is fertile soil, and here it is saying that it is deficient in nutrient. How it is fertile? They are exactly opposite to each other. It means that answer lies between them. And you know that the soil of rainforest is deficient in nutrient given in the NCERT. Answer is here. That's why decompose bhi hota nahi hai. The propagules of the trees in a rainforest have poor viability. Negative statement. The rainforest species are slow growing. Here is also negative statement. Like there is a race for the light. They are very fast growing. Okay, fern trees can also be found there. So these are definitely not answers. Okay, so answer lies between A and D. And how, if you don't know, just find out the opposite and apply your common sense. And only I am telling you, by using or reading only static, only basic things, you can solve all the paper. Now here, 11th NCERT, more than sufficient. No need to read anything else. 24. The Himalayan range is very rich in species diversity. Which one among the following is the most appropriate reason? Now they have used the word most appropriate, means that the the options given, all of the four options given, that may seem correct, but you have to choose most appropriate reason for the phenomenon. It has a high rainfall that supports luxuriant vegetable growth. Now they are talking about Himalayan range. Okay, and high rainfall we can find in northeast, but in northwest Himalaya there is no high rainfall. It is a confluence of different biogeographical zones. It seems correct because anyone has read 11th NCERT of Indian geography, they can find out that our Himalaya has been divided into various zones. Northwest Himalaya, Uttarakhand Himalaya, then there is a Sikkim wala part is there, Northeast is there. So there are various geographical zones, biogeographical zones. That is why Himalayan range is very rich in species diversity, and option B becomes correct. There also you can find out that after incorrect, there is a correct. Exotic and invasive species have not been introduced. That is absurd. It is not possible to control invasive species. It has less human interface. Already Human has entered every ecosystem, and they have disturbed the biological balance. It is also very extreme statement. Less human interference, and in India, it is not possible. So, question number 25. This is how, like, you should think. Very broad interpretation should be there. Okay, and you should think about by using common sense, by using your knowledge. You have to be very alert in the examination. That needs your alertness, and your alertness required. You should be very, like, taking rest. You should sleep peacefully before the examination. You should not be very stressed, because in stressed like situation you should like, you sometimes ignore this type of words. UPSC gives hints in the exam, in the questions only. You have to find out that. Okay, now the next question, very simple. With reference to India, consider the following central acts made by parliament. Central means made by the parliament. Import and Export Control Act 1947, Mining and Mineral Development Regulation Act 1957, Customs Act that associated with exports and etc., Indian Forest Act. Okay, which of the above acts have relevance to or bearing on biodiversity conservation in the country? Now again, जो बाल की खाल निकालने बैठेगा ना यहाँ पे, उसका गलत हो जाएगा. You have to think very broadly. ये पार्लियामेंट्री एक्ट है, इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट कंट्रोल एक्ट. दैट मीन्स there can be a provision with respect to biological elements and their import export. Mining and minerals, that is associated with biological diversity. Customs again comes about import export custom, that is like similar to each other. Indian forest, that is also biological diversity. So all above acts are associated with. Now these acts are given. You should read more about it. Forget about this Customs Act and Import Export, but this Mining and Minerals Development Regulation Act 1957 becomes important, and Indian Forest Act becomes important. That I will tell you something about it. Okay, so MMDR Amendment Bill 2021. It was introduced in Lok Sabha, and the bill amends this 1957 Act that was asked in 2011. What was the highlights of the bill? Removal of the restrictions on end use of the minerals. No mine will be reserved for the particular end use. Okay, कहीं पे भी आप यूज कर सकते हो. मैंने मराठी में लिखा यहाँ पे, कुठे वापरता है मीन्स कहीं पे भी आप यूज करो. Sales of minerals by captive mines. The bill provides the captive mines other than atomic minerals may sell up to 50% of their annual mineral production in the open market. So open market concept comes here. Auction by the central government is there. Then transfer of statutory clearances that can be transferred. Allocation of mines with expired leases and 10 years. Okay, the state government grant a lease for mine to up to period of 10 years. 2015 में भी एक एक्ट आया था, नोटिफाइड मिनरल्स के बारे में आपको पता होना जरूरी है. ऑक्शन प्रोसेस फॉर द ग्रांट ऑफ मिनरल कंसेशंस क्या होता है. देन ट्रांसफर ऑफ मिनरल कंसेशन के बारे में आपको पढ़ना है. राइट ऑफ द फर्स्ट रिफ्यूजल क्या है, एंड लैप्स ऑफ. ठीक है. देन this act, Indian Forest Act 1927, it becomes important. It is mentioned in, yes, I think someone is laughing. Is there any problem?
सर किसी ने अपना म्यूट अनम्यूट कर दिया मतलब.
Okay.
सर
Anyway,
अलीशा जी का माइक ऑन.
so this Indian Forest Act 1927 important. Okay, and this act has categorized the forest into three different parts: reserve forest, village forest, and protected forest. So you should know what is reserve forest, what is protected forest. Okay, and what are the forest offenses. You should read about this Indian Forest Act. So types of forest: reserve forests are the most restricted forests and are constituted by state government on any forest land or the wasteland, which is the property of the government. And in reserve forests, local people are prohibited. इसमें ये तीन पार्ट ही important है बस. Then what is the protected forest? The state government is empowered to constitute any land other than reserve forest as protected forest, over which the government has proprietary rights and the power issues rules regarding the use of such forest. The power has been used to establish state control over trees, whose timber, fruit, and other non-wood products have revenue-raising potential. Then third concept about village forest is that village forests are the one in which state government may assign to any village community the rights of government or over any land which has been constituted a reserve forest. Now, degree of protection you have to remember. Most protected is reserve forest, then comes protected and the village. So this chronology they can ask, okay, and you can get confused between reserve and protected. Sometimes simple questions get wrong because of this simple confusion. In examination, you will forget that protected are less degree of protection than reserve. Remember this. Reserve forest are more protected than protected forest and then village forest. Okay. Who is forest settlement officer according to Indian Forest Act? The forest settlement officer is appointed by state government. Uska kamo sir. Then there are various initiatives that you have to remember. Indian Forest Policy is there. Forest Conservation Act, National Forest Policy 1988. That you read in that static wala part. Okay. The next question on Karl Marx. Question number 26. Karl Marx explained the process, the class struggle with the help of which one of the following theories. तो political science का ये question था. I don't know why UPSC has asked. A layer in the Earth's atmosphere. I am telling you, it is most important, one of the most important topic. That layer you have to study. And the last layer, that is ionosphere. UPSC has asked the question. The presence of ozone causes reflection. And now we have read in one of the question. Ozone layer, ozone hole. Ozone lies in the stratosphere. Okay, the option becomes wrong. Radio waves have a very long wavelength. So there are some short wavelengths also. 300 gigahertz to 3 kilohertz ये भी waves होती है वहां पे. That is also wrong option. Okay, so answer is neither one or neither two. ये प्योरली नॉलेज सिंपल एंड बेसिक कंसेप्ट से आता है. एनसीईआरटी में दिया हुआ है ये सारा. ओके, दैट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. जो क्रोनोलॉजी है वो इस तरीके से यहाँ पे मेंशन की गई है. यहाँ पे भी मैंने लिखा है. ये जो क्रोनोलॉजी होती है वेव्स की वो आपको याद रखनी है. ओके, गामा रेज, then X-rays, ultraviolet rays, infrared, and then radio waves. Radio waves can be again categorized into radar, TV, FM, and AM. चार्ट आपको याद रखना है. इस तरीके से ही क्रोनोलॉजी उसकी आपको देखने को मिलेगी. ठीक है. The next question, question number 28. Both FDI and FII are related to investment in the country. Which one of the following statements best represents the important difference between the two? FDI and FII का difference क्या है? एक चीज आपको याद रखनी है. यूपीएससी जनरली आस्क क्वेश्चन. यूपीएससी के जो क्वेश्चन होते हैं ना वो इवॉल्व होते हैं. दे गेट्स इवॉल्व. फॉर एग्जांपल, फर्स्ट दे विल आस्क वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन ऑन एनी टॉपिक. Then next year they'll ask some difficult, like they will go into detail, and like in further consecutive years, 4 to 5 years, they keep asking question on same topic, but the difficulty level increase day by year by year. So FDI and FI is one of that topic. Initially UPSC has asked very simple questions on FDI and FI, and further years they started asking tough questions on this topic. So this is the beginning of those simple questions, and they have just asked what is the difference. So FII helps bring better management skills and technology, while FDI only brings capital. See, here is a logic that I'm going to tell you. If any option has two concepts given, for example here FDI and FII is given, chances are that the details are exchanged. Okay, details are exchanged. Here FII helps bring better management. Actually FDI brings better management because they have stake of 51%, and FII only brings capital. You can find out so many questions, so many such type of questions. There are two concepts and UPSC just exchange their information. That is a habit, and that you have to remember. Second option, FII helps in increasing capital availability in general, while FDI only targets specific sector. यस, एफडीआई मतलब हम देखते हैं कि इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर में एफडीआई एंड रेलवे में एफडीआई एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, ऐसे बहुत सारे अलग अलग सेक्टर्स में एफडीआई आता है। एफडीआई फ्लोज ओनली इनटू द सेकेंडरी मार्केट, नॉट नेसेसरली प्राइमरी में भी आते हैं, व्हाइल एफआईआई टारगेट्स प्राइमरी। गलत स्टेटमेंट है। एफडीआई इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी मोर स्टेबल, एफआईआई इज मोर स्टेबल, नो। एफआईआई जो होता है वो वोलाटाइल होते हैं, ओके, एंड एफडीआई इज कंसिडर्ड एज मोर स्टेबल देन एफआईआई। ओके, ये सिंपल क्वेश्चन था एफडीआई एंड एफआईआई के ऊपर, दैट यू हैव टू remember. Now next year you will find out that UPSC has given a question on the same topic, but they went into the detail. Now another theme, biotechnology, that I mentioned earlier, second or third I think question, a genetically engineered form of brinjal known as bt brinjal, and bt brinjal is also known as event 142, that you have to remember. Now the question already asked, so it become important to know the alternative name. Even UPSC can repeat it. Has been developed, the objective of this, it may be in news at that time, okay, that you have to remember. The bt brinjal क्यों लेके आए थे, उसके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या थे? टू मेक इट पेस्ट रेजिस्टेंस, टू improve its taste and nutritive qualities, to make it drought resistance, and to make it shelf life longer. If you don't know, this question becomes very tough, because all a b c d seems to be correct. Okay, so there is no common sense or no logic in this. You have to read this biotechnology and especially DNA and genetics related topics. One or two question comes on this topic every year. Okay, and this year also they will definitely ask. So this type of question at that time, if you don't know, you should read now. Okay, so the correct answer was to make it pest resistant. Okay, now what is BT? You must have heard BT cotton. So BT cotton was against pink bollworm. Pink bollworm is a pest. That common sense that you can use. If BT cotton is used for against pink bollworm, BT brinjal must be used for the pest resistance, and it is known as event 142. Okay. With respect to GM crops, there are some information that I can share with you. Okay, some important BT cotton. BT cotton is the only genetically modified crop that is allowed in India. Only BT cotton is allowed. And in 2021, UPSC has asked question on pink bollworm, that is ball guard 1, ball guard 2. It is associated with which of the following? ये क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी ने पूछा था. So BT cotton is the only GM crop that is allowed in India. That you should remember only this. Bacillus thuringiensis, that is BT. Then STBT cotton. One of the other hand is derived with the insertion of additional gene from another soil bacterium. Soil bacteria use किया जाता है. Okay. In further question, UPSC has made it like soil fungus. They have mentioned in the option how UPSC like changes the basic information and make us confused. Okay, so soil bacteria, BT is a soil bacteria which allows the plant to resist the common herbicide glyphosate. Then in BT brinjal, gene allows the plant to resist attack of fruit and shoot borers. इतना याद आपको रखना है बस इसमें. Event 142 आपको याद रखना है. Then DMH11 mustard. This is also the question also came in 2014 or 15 on DMH11 mustard. Genetic modification allows cross pollination in a crop that self pollinates in the nature. Now जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग अप्रेजल कमिटी GEAC, इसके बारे में भी क्वेश्चन आता है एंड यू शुड नो अबाउट इट. इट इज ए रेगुलेटरी बॉडी, इट इज अ स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी notified under Environment Protection Act 1986. Okay, GEAC is notified under Environment Protection Act 1986 statutory body, and it was formed as the Genetic Engineering Approval Committee and was renamed to its current name in 2010. मिनिस्ट्री आपको पता है एनवायरमेंट मिनिस्ट्री के अंडर आएगा. ओके, फंक्शंस कैसे होता है? इट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द अप्रेजल ऑफ द एक्टिविटीज that involves large scale use of hazardous microbes and recombinants in research. It also assesses proposals regarding the release of genetic engineered products and organisms into environment, and this includes experimental field trials as well. Okay, the body also looks into proposals regarding the use of living modified organisms, that is LMOs. The committee has the power to take punitive action against people or body under Environment Protection Act. इसको आपको याद रखना, power to punish. Okay, composition भी आपने मतलब देखना जरूरी है. The committee is chaired by Special Secretary or Additional Secretary of Ministry of Environment. It is not chaired by any minister. Okay, so UPSC can give statements about GEAC, and they will give that it comes under Ministry of Environment. Second statement, it is chaired by minister. So it is not chaired by minister. It is chaired by Special Secretary of Ministry of Environment. Okay, there are many other members, and it is co-chaired by Department of Biotechnology, which comes under Ministry of Science and Technology. So that is important. You have to remember this. Okay. So this is how GM related things are there. Now, with reference to Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana, insurance schemes is one of the favorite theme of UPSC. If any insurance, like people ask various questions about various schemes. Even one class, it releases around 200 pages of schemes booklet. You should not read each and every scheme. Read some important schemes like schemes on insurance. That is one of the priorities. Schemes on skill development, on education, on women. These are priority schemes that you should read. Current affairs. So insurance is one of the favorite theme. With reference to Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana, consider the following statements. The member insured under the scheme must be the head of the family or an earning member of the family in a rural landless household. The member insured must be in the age group of 30 to 65 years. Now, you can ask this question yourself. Number is given here, and I have already told you, if there is number is mentioned, that is a red flag. If any insurance scheme is there, why the lowest age group is 30? Why not 18? Simple सी बात है ये. It must be incorrect, and you have to take the risk. इंश्योरेंस अगर लेना है, मैं 18 का हो जाऊंगा, 20 का हो जाऊंगा, 21 का हो जाऊंगा, मैं उसी टाइम पे ले सकता हूँ. आजकल बच्चों का भी इंश्योरेंस आता है. तो वाई 30? So it is very easy to make this statement wrong by using this type of numbers. Definitely 2 is the wrong answer. And if I eliminate 2, I remain with 1 and 1 and 3. We have to go with the rule of max. There is a provision for free scholarship for up to 2 children. Up to 2 children, हम तो हमारे दो, वो तो था ही इसमें, तो पॉजिटिव होगा समथिंग. अब द इंश्योर्ड हु आर स्टडिंग बिटवीन 9 and 12, तो एजुकेशन के लिए प्रोविजन की जा रही है, मतलब इसके साथ मैं जा सकता हूँ. देयर इज नथिंग नेगेटिव इन दिस. तो हाउ टू थिंक अबाउट इट. अब आप में से कुछ लोगों को लगेगा कि सर ये कैसे होगा, हम कैसे सोचे उस टाइम पे. थिंक अबाउट द पॉजिटिव और अफर्मेटिवनेस ऑफ दैट स्टेटमेंट. What is positive in that? They are talking about education and scholarship between 9 and 12, about insured. It can be there. And then I have also told you, I already told you, rule of maximum should be there. 8 to 9 question out of 10, rule of maximum is applied. Exception can be there. 1 or 2 questions can, like, it can be there. Rule of maximum is not applied. But maximum question, this is applicable. You observe and then adopt. I will not tell you, believe me blindly. You just observe the things. Next question. In the context of global oil prices, Brent crude oil is frequently. Now, देखो, अभी ये इतना war वगैरह चल रहा है. Oil, crude oil, that is in news. The question can be repeated from here. So this topic is important. It is a major classification of the crude oil. It is sourced from the North Sea and it does not contain sulfur. आपको पता है crude oil में sulfur होता है. Does not contain. Now the next trick that you should remember. How examiner thinks. If there is a negative statement given, most of the time the statement is wrong. And negative statement is made by using opposite word, by adding not. Okay. Here it contains sulfur. Examiner has not taken efforts to make it wrong. It has just added it does not contain sulfur. Simply. And this question got repeated in 2020. This statement got repeated in 2020. If you studied 2011 paper, the 2020 question becomes very easy. The verb is become negative. Verb is becoming negative by adding not. Just remember this. 3 can be eliminated here. Okay. Rule of maximum we have applied, and we know that it is a major class. Very simple statement, affirmative statement. Always remember the rule. कि if you want to choose anything, choose the simple things. That is correct. अब I don't know about North Sea, whether it is correct or not, but options are designed in that way. Okay, you have already eliminated three. You remain with don't know. I have to choose for like between these two. It is a major classification of crude oil. हो सकता है because it is talking about crude oil. तो crude oil के बारे में बात चल रही है, यहाँ पे भी crude oil मैच हो रहा है, कीवर्ड भी मैच हो रहा है. Obviously they are associated with each other. Okay. Then other classifications are Western Canadian Select. It is also a crude oil. I have made some notes on this. I can tell you about it. Okay. Crude oil. Types of crude oil. There are over 100 crude oils which are traded internationally. However, there are two which are most common. First, West Texas Intermediate. इसको याद रखना. WTI, West Texas Intermediate. And it was asked in 2020 prelims. See how question gets repeated. UPSC will not repeat the question directly. Okay, you have to analyze it. So many students that message me, who message me, how sir, how to analyze. This is how you should analyze. Okay, and no, I strongly believe that no any coaching has given such type of analysis. Nobody has given. They just give the broad information. They do not go into detail. Okay. It is a high West Texas Intermediate. It is a sweet crude oil, and it is a high quality crude and is excellent for refining for maximizing of petrol. Okay, the presence of 0.24% of sulfur makes it sweet crude. मतलब sulfur present होता है इसमें, याद रखना है. Okay. Second is Brent crude oil. It is also sweet. It is a combination of crude oil from 15 different oil fields in the Brent and the North Sea areas. Reasonably light and sweet crude with API gravity of 38.3. इतना डिटेल आपको याद रखने की कोई जरूरत नहीं, बस आपको याद रखना है सल्फर होगा इसमें. ओके. It is ideal for making motor spirit petrol and middle distillates. So Brent crude oil is more excellent than WTI. Crude oil pricing कैसे होती है? जैसे different types of crude oils. देखो यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा हुआ है West Texas, West Canadian Select, Brent, Isthmus, Bonny Light. These are crude oils. ओके, ये नाम याद रखना, ये नोट करना या तो स्क्रीनशॉट लेके रखना इसका. वेस्ट टेक्सास इंटरमीडिएट एंड ब्रेंट के ऊपर ऑलरेडी क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी ने पूछा हुआ है. मे बी दे कैन आस्क क्वेश्चन ऑन वेस्ट कैनेडियन सेलेक्ट इस्थमस और बॉनी लाइट. दे कैन आस्क कि रिसेंटली बॉनी लाइट एंड इस्थमस वेस्ट कैनेडियन सेलेक्ट वाज व्हाट इज इट. Simple question they ask, and we get confused there. Crude oil pricing is a spot price. Okay, the spot price matlab oil price of a barrel of a benchmark of crude oil. Reference price for buyers and sellers of crude oil such as West Texas Intermediate, Brent ICE, Dubai crude, OPEC reference basket, Tapis crude, Bonny Light, Urals oils, Isthmus, and Western Canadian Select. These are crude oils. Crude oil is a type of fossil fuel which occurs naturally. It is an unrefined petroleum product composed of hydrocarbon deposits and other organic materials. क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसिंग के फैक्टर्स है वो आपको याद रखना बहुत जरूरी होता है. व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसिंग? ओके, देयर इज अ डिफरेंस इन द प्राइस ऑफ अ बैरल ऑफ ऑयल बेस्ड ऑन इट्स ग्रेड. Factors which are responsible for increase or decrease in the crude oil pricing in India. First is its specific gravity or API, then sulfur content and its location. Third one is location. तो लोकेशन से भी आपका क्रूड ऑयल का प्राइस डिफाइन होता है, याद रखना है आपको. नॉट जस्ट स्पेसिफिक ग्रेविटी और नॉट जस्ट सल्फर कंटेंट, एंड दिस बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल इट्स प्रॉक्सिमिटी टू टाइड वाटर और रिफाइनरीज. ओके, तो ये डिफाइन होता है. हेवियर सोर क्रूड ऑयल बोलेंगे लैकिंग इन टाइड वाटर एक्सेस such as Western Canadian Select are less expensive than the lighter sweeter oil such as Western Texas Intermediate. ओके, तो सोर क्रूड ऑयल हेवी होगा, स्वीट लाइट होता है. इसमें याद रखना है. इसमें लार्जेस्ट प्रोड्यूसर देख लेना, लेटेस्ट कौन कौन से है. क्रूड ऑयल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थीम दिस ईयर. डेफिनेटली यूपीएससी में आस्क वन क्वेश्चन ऑन इट. Largest producer, largest importer, largest exporter, and find out some data with respect to India also. Okay, India किससे export होता है, that you have to see. The next question number 32, the function of heavy water in a nuclear reactor is. Now again, same theme or same logic is getting repeated. Two common words are here: the speed of neutron, okay, and slowing down and increasing. Opposite words, exactly opposite to each other. Heavy water nuclear reactor, slow down the speed of neutron or increase the speed of neutron. अब यहाँ तो हमने शॉर्टलिस्ट कर लिया कि इन दोनों में से ही एक आंसर होने वाला है, either it will slow down or it will increase. अब जस्ट रिमेंबर दैट न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर की बात चल रही है, न्यूट्रॉन का स्पीड अगर बढ़ गया तो ब्लास्ट हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, एक्सीडेंट हो सकता है, तो रेगुलेट करने के लिए उसकी स्पीड को स्लो डाउन ही करना पड़ेगा. और हेवी वाटर उसको रेगुलेट करने के लिए यूज किया जाएगा, उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए यूज होगा. कॉमन सेंस है, वी शुड गो विद द स्लोइंग डाउन ऑफ द स्पीड ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन. Okay, so similar options are there. Choose the most correct. Nuclear energy is the theme. Recently, government of India has done so many reforms in the nuclear sector. That is why it is also become important theme. Nuclear के बारे में सब चीजें आपको पढ़नी पड़ेगी. There are various nuclear reactors, small modular reactors के बारे में पढ़ना है आपको. हम किस किस कंट्री से न्यूक्लियर डील हमने की हुई है उसके बारे में आपको पढ़ना है, जानना है थोड़ा सा, वो नोट करके रखना कहीं पे. ओके, क्वेश्चन में कम फ्रॉम दिस टॉपिक. Question number 33. In India, if a religious sect or community is given the status of national minority with special advantages, it is entitled to. It can establish and administer exclusive educational institution. It can means possibility and already given in our constitution and under Article 29 and 30. Yes. The President of India automatically nominates. Automatically adverb adjective आ गया यहाँ पे. Automatically कुछ नहीं होता है यहाँ पे. The President of India automatically nominates a representative of the community in Lok Sabha. No. Why? So automatically becomes so option number 2 goes. If option 2 goes, just eliminate that. You remain with 1 and 3. Rule of maximum हमें पता है, दिमाग में रखना है खाली हमारे. 1 and 3 has to be, but you have to be very much sure. It can derive benefits from the Prime Minister's 15-point program. Yes, can means possibility. Why not? Ask this question, why not? 15 option is also there, 1 and 3 is also there, rule of maximum is also there, and 2/3 का भी आपको याद रखना है कि 3 में से 2 सही होने वाले हैं यहाँ पे. Maximum time. So this is how you should apply different logics. Just note it down. Whenever question comes, you should start applying it. Okay. Keep a blank paper with you. So I am explaining here. You should just fastly note it down. I will also share this paper in the group after discussing all the 100 questions, and you can revise from it multiple times. Okay. In further papers, I have written notes on the paper only in front of these questions and options. So your efforts will be reduced. So don't worry about it. You will get every paper from 2011 to 2025. Just focus here, try to understand it, and try to apply during examination. Only 14-15 questions are remaining. We'll complete it. Question number 34. India is a home to lakhs of persons with disability. Person with disability means vulnerable section. And whenever question comes on vulnerable section, you should think inclusively. There has to be some provision for their improvement or for their inclusiveness or for their benefits available to them under the law. Free schooling till the age of 18 years in government run schools. Preferential allotment of the land for setting up business and ramps in the public building. So all the 3 options given are positive. There is nothing that can be questioned. So option 1, 2, 3, D is the right answer. Okay. How we have derived the answer? Just remember that. Vulnerable sections, there has to be something positive about it. Okay. Question number 35. Here you can observe that a very nice trap is given here. Question option number 3. With what purpose is the government of India promoting the concept of mega food park? Now, while reading GS3 and agriculture sector, food processing industry. You came across PM Kisan Sampada, Matsya Sampada, Mega Food Park, and food processing industries, collecting center, processing center, etc., etc. So many things. Okay, mains syllabus. If you have gone through mains syllabus for GS3, at least 5 to 6 questions that can be corrected. Means there is an advantage for the student who has completed main syllabus. There is advantage. At least 6 to 7%. Now, question is about mega food park. With what purpose is the government of India promoting the concept of mega food park? To provide good infrastructure facilities for the food processing industry, but obvious logistic and collection center, processing centers. So option number 1 is correct. If option number 1 is correct, C is gone. ऑल ऑफ द अबो के बारे में हमने देखा है कि रेयरेस्ट ऑफ रेयर सिचुएशन में ऑल ऑफ द अबो होता है, मतलब आंसर हैज टू बी बिटवीन 1 and 1 and 2. दैट मींस 1 इज करेक्ट. To increase the processing of perishable items and reduce wastage, yes, it is also positive. Perishable items में vegetables, fruits, हम उससे बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हम बनाते हैं. ओके, 2 is correct. तो ऑप्शन नंबर 1 is gone. तो we remain with 1 and 2, 1, 2 and 3. ओके, ये दो ऑप्शन हमारे पास बचे हैं अभी. अब इसमें कई बार क्या होता है ना, हमारा कंफ्यूजन होता है, एंड बहुत सारे बच्चों ने मुझे बोला है कि सर 2 ऑप्शन में फंसते हैं हम लोग, बी और डी. इस टाइप की सिचुएशन में फिर हमारी गलती हो जाती है, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द 10 में से 8 या 7 क्वेश्चन ऐसे गलत हो जाते हैं. जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, ऑल ऑफ द अबो वेरी रेयर सिचुएशन में सही होगा, वेरी रेयर सिचुएशन में. नाउ जस्ट ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट कि 3 क्यों गलत होना चाहिए. To provide emerging and eco-friendly food processing technologies to entrepreneurs. Just remember that government will never provide you technology. Government is a facilitator. Government will provide you light, roads, and land. Okay, they will make some provisions with respect to legal provisions. They will provide you easy clearances. You have to bring your own technology, and government will provide you fund, loans, viability gap funding, and etc. etc. This is a common sense. This is how you should think logically. Government will not provide you technology. That is why the option number 3 is wrong. This is why I started thinking after observing this कि all of the above कभी नहीं हो सकता है. So फिर 3 को wrong बनाना है मुझे, तो कैसे wrong बना सकता हूँ मैं उसको? And this is how I solved this paper, and UPSC has also given this answer. 1 and 2. If you apply this type of thinking, you have 29, I think 25, 26 days, and I'm pretty much sure that you will definitely develop this type of thinking. If you develop this type of thinking, you should increase only 10 questions. If 10 question gets correct now, you can improve 26 marks, because the wrong negative marks will be added. Just remember. Definitely you can cross 100 things. If you get 100 things, then only score 105, 106, etc. Okay, this is how you should think. Question number 36, the authorization. Consolidated fund का कुछ भी authorization होता है, Parliament of India. Polity, no logic, only knowledge. Okay, Parliament of India, simple. All revenues received by the Union government by the way of tax and other receipts for the conduct of government businesses are credited Consolidated Fund of India. किसी को कुछ भी डाउट नहीं होना चाहिए इसमें. ओके, कॉन्टीजेंसी फंड पब्लिक अकाउंट्स के बारे में एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ लेना, उसके आर्टिकल 266 267 वगैरह के बारे में पढ़ना. नाउ फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन, वन ऑफ द थीम. सोशल जस्टिस, वनरेबल सेक्शन, वन ऑफ वनरेबल सेक्शंस की जब बात आती है तो देयर हैज टू बी पॉजिटिव थिंग्स, और जो पॉजिटिव चीजें होंगी वो सारी सही होंगी, इतना याद रखना आपको. माइक्रो फाइनेंस इज द प्रोविजन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज टू पीपल ऑफ लो इनकम ग्रुप्स. This includes both the consumers as well as the self-employed. The services rendered under the microfinance are credit, savings, insurance, and fund transfers. Obviously, all of the above होना ही चाहिए इसका आंसर. और this type of questions that got repeated in 2024 or 23 also. Same type of question they have asked. See, the pattern of the questions get repeated. Here, I observe the pattern. financial inclusion, social justice, vulnerable sections, and some positive things are there. That has to be correct. Okay, so all of the above here correct. Southeast Asia, Indo-Pacific, ASEAN. This is important theme with respect to international relations. So many times you can observe one question on this. Southeast Asia has captivated the attention of global community over space and time as a geostrategically significant region. Which among the following is the most convincing explanation for this global perspective? It was the hot theater during Second World War. Its location between Asian powers of China and India. It was the arena of superpower confrontation during Cold War. Its location between Pacific and Indian Oceans and its preeminent maritime character. आज भी हम देखते हैं इंडो पैसिफिक क्वाड वगैरह ये सारी चीजें आरसीपी किसके रिलेटेड है? ओके, इंडो पैसिफिक के रिलेटेड है. पैसिफिक ओशन, इंडियन ओशन, सी लेन्स ऑफ पर्सपेक्टिव, ओशियंस, ये सब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आयर अगर आपने बेसिकली पढ़ा होगा तो इस तरीके से क्वेश्चन आते हैं उस पर. तो ऑप्शन डी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. ओके, कैसे सोचना ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव से समझ में आपको? साउथ ईस्ट एशिया अगर है, आसियान है, तो दैट हैज टू बी विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू मैरीटाइम सिक्योरिटी. ओके, इंडो पैसिफिक, इंडियन ओशन और पैसिफिक ओशन, आरसीपी, क्वाड, इसको आपको याद रखना कंटिन्यूअसली. क्वेश्चन नंबर 40. A company marketing food products advertises that its items do not contain trans fats. What does this campaign signify to the customer? Trans means, trans का meaning क्या होता है? To change. Okay, to change into hydrogenated oil. The food producers are not made out of hydrogenated oils. Yes, correct है option. Do not contain trans fats means they are not hydrogenated. Option number 1 is correct. Okay, option number 1 is correct. Then B is gone. We can star mark to the D because all of the above is there. Very rare situation is there. The food products are not made out of animal fats or oils. Okay, ट्रांस फैट की बात हो रही है, वेजिटेरियन और नॉन वेजिटेरियन, और उसकी बात नहीं हो रही है. जनरली उसमें 0.2 ग्राम एनिमल फैट होता है. The oil used are not likely to damage the cardiovascular health of the consumer. Positive statement है ये. That is why they advertise it as they do not contain trans fats, because trans fats causes cardiovascular diseases. अगर नहीं होंगे तो डैमेज भी नहीं होगा. Third statement is also positive. So 1 and 3 is definitely correct. 1 and 3 has to be correct. दो ऑप्शन जो है हमारे सी एंड डी में ही आंसर है. सो ऑप्शन नंबर 2 के बारे में अगर अब आए तो 2 रॉन्ग होना चाहिए. तो क्यों रॉन्ग होना चाहिए उस पर फिर हमें सोचना है, हमें दिमाग चलाना है थोड़ा सा. द फूड प्रोडक्ट्स आर नॉट मेड आउट ऑफ द एनिमल फैट्स और ऑयल्स. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. एक्सट्रीम स्टेटमेंट भी है. एनिमल फैट्स एंड ऑयल अगर स्टेट देखा जाए तो 0.2 ग्राम तक होता है, उसमें अलाउड होता है. सो आई विल गो विद द 1 and 3 एंड दिस इज राइट आंसर गिवन बाय यूपीएससी. ट्रांस फैट्स के रिलेटेड कुछ एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन है. वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का प्रोग्राम था रिप्लेस नाम का. ओके, वो आपको याद रखना है. उसके बारे में कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन होगी तो मैं वो देता हूँ आपको. एक मिनट. ट्रांस फैट्स. The trans fats are made of hydrogenated oils, and trans fats are the reasons for cardiovascular diseases. Okay. फसाई जो बारे में आपको मेंशन किया गया है, it revised the regulation according to which food products using edible oils and fats as an ingredient shall not contain industrial trans fats more than 2%. Okay, ठीक है. Then ये बाकी की सारी डिटेल जो है इंफॉर्मेशन है वो इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. कि कोलेस्टेरॉल, गुड कोलेस्टेरॉल, बैड कोलेस्टेरॉल क्या होता है? गुड कोलेस्टेरॉल में लो इंटेंसिटी लिपोप्राइड्स होते हैं, वो बस ये उसको आपको याद रखना है. अनसैचुरेटेड फैट्स क्या है, बेसिक चीज है, इतने डिटेल में यूपीएससी नहीं पूछता है कभी. कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन इसमें ये है, ठीक है. ईट राइट मूवमेंट क्या है, हार्ट अटैक रिवाइंड कैंपेन, ट्रांस फैट फ्री लोगो, ये फाइन स्टार्ट किए हुए कुछ एडिशनल मतलब कुछ प्रोग्राम्स थे, ठीक है. और यहाँ पे ट्रांस फैट फ्री लोगो इनको देना पड़ेगा. WHO लॉन्च अ कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव प्लान टू एलिमिनेट इंडस्ट्रियली प्रोड्यूस्ड आर्टिफिशियल फ्रॉम ग्लोबल फूड सप्लाई बाय 20. आपको याद होना जरूरी है. Question number 41 important हो जाता है. Has been replaced. A new act has been in the news. VB राम जी, और उसके ऊपर आपको पढ़ना है. उसके ऊपर 100% क्वेश्चन आएगा. Now this question becomes irrelevant. Okay, but VB राम जी के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आने वाला है इस बार प्रीलिम्स में. उसके बारे में आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा. एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन आपको लेनी पड़ेगी. ओके. Question number 42, again, location policy means again Southeast. Am I audible, guys? मुझे लग रहा है नेट कनेक्ट डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था. वन सेकंड.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
So look, इस पॉलिसी के बारे में बात चल रही थी यहाँ पे. इंडिया वांट्स टू एस्टैब्लिश इटसेल्फ एज एन इंपॉर्टेंट रीजनल प्लेयर इन द ईस्ट एशियन अफेयर्स. इट इज वेरी कॉमन थिंग. इंडिया वांट्स टू प्लग द वैक्यूम क्रिएटेड बाय टर्मिनेशन ऑफ द कोल्ड वॉर. कितना एब्सर्ड स्टेटमेंट. आप सोचो कि कोल्ड वॉर की वजह से वैक्यूम क्रिएट हो गया. कोल्ड वॉर खत्म होने की वजह से. इंडिया ऑलवेज वांटेड टू. इंडिया ने कोल्ड वॉर के टाइम पे तो नाम बनवाया था. ठीक है. एंड ये लुक ईस्ट पॉलिसी वगैरह का उसका कोई लेना देना नहीं है. India wants to restore the historical and cultural ties with its neighbors in Southeast and East Asia. Yes, that is also correct. So 1 and 3 is the correct answer. Again, just remember, do you observe the pattern? 3 में से 2 ही correct हो रहे most of the time. Okay, 1 and 3 alternative भी correct हो रहा है. Now in 2014, look east policy has been replaced by act east policy by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. So ASEAN plus India summit भी हुआ था. उसके बारे में आपको पढ़ना है. Okay. Now the look east policy is irrelevant, and look east policy was introduced by then Prime Minister PV Narasimha Rao. Okay, in 1992. Question number 43. When the annual union budget is not passed by the Lok Sabha, अगर लोक सभा में बजट फेल होता है, जैसे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंडमेंट बिल में के बारे में होता है, अगर बजट पास नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा? तो budget is modified and presented again. No, there is no such provision mentioned in the constitution. The budget is referred to the budget money bill. Union Finance Minister is asked to resign Council of Ministers, not directly, but it may lead to no confidence motion. So it becomes correct. Option number D. Polity का question है ये. Under the Constitution of India, which one of the following is not a fundamental duty? Basic polity, you should have the knowledge. M. Lakshmikant, you should revise at least 2 to 3 times in these 30 days. Just go through fastly. Okay. To vote 51, sorry. Okay. To develop a scientific temper is there. Then to safeguard the public property is there. To abide by the Constitution and respect. These are the duties. With reference to the Finance Commission of India, Finance Commission is a constitutional body under Article 280, established by President every 5 years. Now, Finance Commission का एक ही काम है, fund को devolve करना. Other than that, it has no other function. Okay, no other function. Just remember my words. They have no administrative powers, no auditing powers, nothing. They just derive the formula through which the like revenue is shared between center and the state. That's it. It encourages the inflow of foreign capital for infrastructure development. I told you, no other function. So infrastructure development वगैरह के लिए कुछ नहीं. Distribution of finance among the public sector undertaking, no, between center and state. See how beautifully UPSC has confused you. Okay. It ensures transparency in financial administration. उसके लिए क्या है? CAG. So none of the above is the right answer here. Okay. So this is how very simple question also we get wrong. Just remember, your basic concept has to be clear. So far, we have gone through 45 questions of 2011. Have you find out that current affairs is a hurdle while solving this paper? So don't think and don't worry about current affairs. Just go through it. Just read once or two times, and just like keep it as it is. Make many time, multiple time, and solve these questions. It will improve your confidence. Okay, is a human right. Yes, right to equal access to public service is a human right. Right to food is also a human right. Which of the above are human right under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? So don't worry that you have not read the Universal Declaration and all. Use your common sense. अगर तुम भी बनाते तो इन्हीं rights को उसमें डालते. So all of the above is right answer. Right to asylum is also a human right. So in Universal Declaration of Human Rights, there are total 30 such rights. And even in 2020, a question repeated on human rights. Okay. Question number 47. There is a concern over the increase in the harmful algal blooms. Again, the question comes from concern. Concern means there has to be something negative in the sea waters of the India. What could be the causative factors in this phenomenon? Means algal blooms हो रहा है उसके reasons पूछे basically इन्होंने. And algal blooms are not good for the environment. So discharge of nutrients from the estuaries. So estuaries से nutrients जो आ रहे हैं उसके वजह से algal bloom होगा. Obviously nutrients है तो bloom होगा. Yes. Runoff from the land during the monsoon. For example, एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड से अगर आ रहा है वहां पे केमिकल्स यूज हो रहे हैं, न्यूट्रिएंट्स आएंगे, algal blooms होगा. Upwelling in the seas. One question just 30 minutes before we have seen one question of upwelling, and during upwelling nutrients come at the surface, and because of nutrients phytoplanktons and algal bloom is there. So all of the above is the right answer. With common sense, without reading anything, we have solved this question. No knowledge is required. Decay of organic matter and volcanic action. Which of the above add carbon dioxide in the carbon cycle on the earth? Basic question on gaseous cycle given in the NCERT. Question got repeated in 2014 also. Now read photosynthesis. Photosynthesis में क्या होता है? Photosynthesis by the trees. They consume the carbon dioxide. They do not add carbon dioxide in the environment. So photosynthesis will get wrong. Okay, one will be eliminated. You remain with the 2 and 3, 2, 3 and 4. Rule of maximum आपको पता है, अगर कंफ्यूज हो जाए तो. Volcanic actions में बहुत सारे gases बाहर आते हैं and carbon dioxide is one of that. Decay of organic matter में भी carbon release होता है. Respiration हम जो करते हैं, okay, carbon dioxide is released in the atmosphere. So 2, 3, 4 is the right answer. So this is how you should think. Okay, and question gets repeated in further question papers also. Question number 49. Recently, USA decided to support India's membership in multilateral export control regime called as Australia Group Wassenaar Arrangement. What is the difference between? See the length of option given. And in this type of question, we generally get scared. We think that I have not read this type of question. Whenever two bodies are given, I just told you a few like 35, 40 minutes before. Whenever two bodies or two statements or information is given about two things in the one statement, just remember either it is altered or half information. UPSC may type of big statements generally we get confused because of the half statement. The half statement is correct and we do not read full statement. Because of it, they have done the same things. The Australia Group is an informal arrangement which aims to allow exporting countries to minimize the risk of assisting chemical and biological weapons proliferation. यहाँ तक correct दिया हुआ है उन्होंने. Okay, this is correct. But half of the statement after whereas it is not correct. Whereas the Wassenaar arrangement is a formal group under the OECD holding identical objectives. No, Wassenaar arrangement is different. OECD, parent organization is given. I told you about parent organization. The body has come here. Parent organization. You should think about it. And always remember, two different statements, if they are joined by using the words whereas, because, and, the second half of the statement most of the time is incorrect. Most of the time. So you have to be very alert for this. So definitely it is wrong statement. Second, the Australia Group comprises predominantly of Asian, African, and North American countries. whereas the member of the countries of Wassenaar arrangement are predominantly from European Union and American country. It is also wrong information. So many facts are given. Asia, Africa, North America, European Union, American continent. There must be something wrong in this. We have to think like that only. So this is also a wrong statement, and your answer is neither. So in 2025 also, if such type of question, like statements came, I believe in my hunch and I believe my practice that if such type of questions come, half of the statement UPSC has given so many facts, and there has to be some fact that is not correct. And I made I did that daring, and I choose that option and made it wrong. And when I check with the answer key, I got those questions correct. You have to take the risk. Okay, we'll read more about this. Okay, uh, I will tell you more about Australia Group, Wassenaar Group, etc. What is nuclear supplier group when it came into multilateral export control regimes, MECR. So MECR में 4 चीजें आती हैं. Multilateral export control regimes. So there are 4 things: NSG, Australia Group, MTCR, and Wassenaar Group. So we'll see briefly about these 4 things. MECR are voluntary and non-binding agreements created by major supplier countries that agreed to cooperate in their efforts to prevent and regulate the transfer of certain military and dual-use technology. And it aims at preventing the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Okay, इसके लिए था ये. They are independent of the United Nations. याद रखना. NSG, Australia Group, MTCR, and question may ask, UPSC may ask question on this because of this war going on. Their regulations apply only to members and not obligatory for a country to join. Okay, India is now member of 3 of the 4 MECRs except NSG. India is not a member of NSG, but India is a member of Australia Group, MTCR, and Wassenaar. So NSG, Australia Group, MTCR, and Wassenaar Group के बारे में हम देखते हैं. NSG, Nuclear Supplier Group, has 48 members. Okay, NSG is a group of nuclear supplier countries that seeks to contribute to the non-proliferation of the nuclear weapons through the implementation of 2 sets of guidelines. एक एक्सपोर्ट के लिए and दूसरा nuclear related exports के लिए. NSG came into being as a response to 1974 nuclear test by India. इंडिया की वजह से NSG आया था. 1974 में इंदिरा गांधी ने जो न्यूक्लियर टेस्ट किए थे. ओके, याद रखना. There is a trigger list and items from the list are forbidden to be exported to non-NPT members countries. Means में ये क्वेश्चन आता है कि why India is not signing NPT and all. 48 participants, याद रखना. India is not a member. Okay, China is a member of NSG, but China is not a member of Wassenaar and MTCR. Just remember that. What is Australia Group? Australia Group is an informal group. It was established in 1985. Annual meeting इसकी पेरिस में होती है, फ्रांस में. Okay, so Australia Group is an informal forum of the countries which, through the harmonization of the export control, seeks to ensure that export do not contribute to the development of chemical or biological weapons. Okay, and it was promoted by Iran's use of chemical weapons during the Iran-Iraq War 1980. अभी ईरान वॉर चल रहा है, न्यूज में है. And because of Iran-Iraq War in 1985, this group came into existence. Okay, 54 compounds वगैरह होते हैं इसके अंदर. It has 43 members including European Union, and the members work on the consensus basis. पेरिस में मीटिंग होता है. In 2018, India has joined it. Okay, then MTCR control regime, informal group है, voluntary partnership होगी, 35 countries है इसमें. To prevent the proliferation of missile and unmanned aerial vehicle technology capable of carrying greater than 500 kg payload or more than 300 km. The members are thus prohibited from supplying such missiles and UAV systems that are controlled by MTCR to non-members. ठीक है, कंसेंसस से डिसीजन होता है. यहाँ पे नॉन ट्रीटी एसोसिएशन है. MTCR was established in 1987 by G7 countries. Okay, इतना याद रखना है. And India is member of MTCR, 35th member in 2016. ठीक है. Then Wassenaar arrangement, it has 42 members. The Wassenaar arrangement is a voluntary export control regime 42 मेंबर्स है इसमें. ट्रांसफर ऑफ कन्वेंशनल वेपन्स एंड ड्यूअल यूज गुड्स एंड टेक्नोलॉजीज को ये कंट्रोल करता है. ठीक है, इतना याद रखना है आपको. अदर देन दैट यू हैव लाइक यू कैन रीड. ओईसीडी के बारे में आपको पता है. द लास्ट क्वेश्चन, question number 50 of like today's discussion. The surface of the lake is frozen in severe winter, but the water at its bottom is still liquid. What is the reason? Again, question from NCERT. That just like the question came on the tree, botany. Same question from the NCERT. Ice is a bad conductor of the heat. Since the surface of the lake is at the same temperature at the air, no heat is lost. The density of water is maximum at 4 degree purely. It is a knowledge-based question. There is no logic in this question. So these are 50 questions. Now, if anyone has any doubt, they can ask, and then we'll end this session, and we'll continue with the remaining question by tomorrow 9 p.m. If anyone has any doubt,
Sir, I'd like to ask a
So,
doubt. May I continue?
yes, please.
Yes. Yes. Obviously, before continuing, I'd like to say that I'm extremely grateful for the time and effort that you've put in and made the most tedious task so much easier. Apart from that, there's just so much information available. For example, you also provided some information about some of the options, and this
Mhm.
plethora of information, and my mind feels disorganized to separate important information from unnecessary information, and also to identify that, oh, this is a mains topic, I need to have detailed notes on it. So this is the problem
Mhm.
that I've been currently facing.
Okay. See, now now you have only 25 days in your hand. Okay. So
Yes.
you should be focused on these 25 days. Don't think about like the topics that you have left up, and just remember, by solving 2011 to 2025 papers and by focusing on 3 to 4 static topics, like I'll give you the priority. You have to read geography, then economy, and polity. These three topics you have to be very like sure that you have revised it at least 2 or 3 times. And another, like science and technology, environment, polity, other than this, like miscellaneous topics, they can be solved by using common sense and logic, by applying these types, whatever I'm telling in while solving these papers. Okay, so don't worry about the main topics and the topics that you have left. Just don't worry about it.
So there are some questions. For example, if I see geography, they're
Hmm.
not asking the concept, but the question
Hmm.
related to it. For example, कोई example दे देते हैं. For example, of a volcano or a glacier.
Hmm.
Such questions are very knowledge based only.
So, you are talking about UPSC questions or questions from any class?
UPSC questions.
Mhm. My observation about UPSC question with respect to like particularly about geography is that no geography question came from outside NCERT. Every question can be solved by using NCERT, and I'll share NCERT notes also. The notes are prepared by my friend IPS Mintu Kumar, and with his permission, I will definitely share all the notes with you guys. We can go through those notes. I have used those 11th NCERT. I have used those notes for pre as well as mains. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
don't worry. This is very easy. Don't worry at all. Just go through the static part and
Got
keep
it, sir.
solving this paper. See, these 20 to 25 days, maximum practice is to be done for question solving. Maximum practice.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Any other question? Anybody?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Hmm.
like you have analyzed these questions and made the notes on it, and you said
Hmm.
for the rest of other years from 2012, you have written the notes in paper only. So, sir, do
Hmm.
we need to also like make notes on our own?
See, now is like you don't have time to make the notes. Okay, I'll make your life easy by sharing my notes with you. Don't worry about it. Uh, I have prepared these notes by like involving my like by putting a lot of efforts, by getting help from my friends also. But since you have only 20 days left, if you start making notes, it will become very difficult. Okay. So I will share all the papers that I have solved, and I have written everything on that paper. You can use those papers directly.
Okay, okay. Yes, yes, sir. Sir, as we can see that you have also mentioned tricky parts as well,
Hmm.
GEAC,
Hmm.
under like chairman is under which ministry. Like these questions can be asked. So yes, sir, that would be
Yes.
really helpful if you
Yes. Yes.
do share
Definitely.
that. Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
And some so many people are asking about history. Uh, about history, I will tell you that. See, just remember, in history, there is never all of the above, and there is never neither. Okay, ancient, medieval, modern, as well as in culture type of questions. Always remember, only one option is incorrect in history question. Whenever we solve the history question, you will observe that. So just wait for some time and let these history questions come. I'll prove that. Okay. Anyone? Anything?
So when will be the recorded uploaded, sir?
Recording will be uploaded soon. Uh, As soon as this session gets ended, the recording will be saved and it will be uploaded in the Telegram channel
Sir,
only.
regarding the content that you have
Hmm.
can I continue, sir?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, sir. Regarding the content that you have been at times you have been explaining from the sidebar,
Hmm.
sir.
Hmm.
How many times do we need to revise it before going to? Because sir, I think that I've been preparing my notes separately for the PYQs, and recently today I got a chance that okay, I have found your channel, and through this I attended the
Hmm.
meeting and I stayed till last answer. But
Hmm.
yes, it is taking too much time for me. Sir, I have
Hmm. Hmm.
completed till 2017-18. But
Hmm. It
for
is.
me, as sir, how many times of revision it is required? It is required to be confident, sir. How many times would you suggest?
See, there is no limit for the revision of these 2011 and to up to 25 papers. Okay, so it is up to you. If you revise it 2 times, 3 times, it will give you more reward. Okay, but practically when it is possible, when you have solved it, you have make short notes on it, and then you revise. But it is not possible now right now. That is why I'm sharing my questions papers with you. Okay, you can go through those questions daily, regularly, and I can give you one suggestion. Okay, what we used to do, like our group of friends we used to do, we used to use that Vision Eyes app. Okay, there are papers of 2011 to 2025, and there is a
Yes.
option of like reset of these papers. So we had made that habit. So during lunch and dinner, we used to solve those papers continuously.
So, of
So
previous year questions only, sir.
yes, previous year questions. You have to
Oh,
solve those previous year questions. Just get used to this knowledge, the language of UPSC.
yes.
See, I'm telling you, I have not solved any private coaching's paper because my strength was UPSC previous year questions, and I solved 1979 onwards, each and every question. Even I have solved Ghatna Chakra also. If anybody knows about Ghatna Chakra, it is
Yes,
used
sir.
for yes. I
Yes,
used
sir.
Yes,
Ghatna
yes,
Chakra
yes.
for history and geography. I have solved history and geography Ghatna Chakra, so that helped me a lot. And for rest of the topics, I have solved 1979 onwards all the papers, and 2011 to 2024 or 23, I prepared the notes, these type of notes by using internet and something like, and only highlighted parts. Next, after reading that, I highlighted some areas and I used to revise only highlighted parts. So that become very easy for revision. And for some papers, I have written it down on the question paper only. So I used to go through like two to three papers in 2 hours or 3 hours daily. So that became very easy.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir. Got it. What you wanted to convey. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, a question, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, please try to upload the question paper and the key today itself, sir, so that we can complete now, so that to avoid a cascading effect for tomorrow, sir.
Yes, 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 definitely.
थैंक यू।
Excuse me, sir. हेलो
यस 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 प्लीज।
सर। सर आजकल सर क्वेश्चंस में ऑप्शंस आ रहे हैं ओनली वन, ओनली टू, ओनली थ्री। तो इस टाइप
हम्म
के ऑप्शंस में सर बहुत ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन होता है, तो ये सब को कैसे
हम्म
सॉल्व करें?
उसके लिए हमें ना 2011 से 2024 तक के सारे क्वेश्चन से पहले सॉल्व करने पड़ेंगे और वो पैटर्न आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा। बिकॉज अभी से मैं अगर आपको बोल दूंगा ना कि 3 में से 2 सही होंगे, 5 में से 3 सही होंगे, आप बिलीव नहीं करेंगे मेरे ऊपर। तो मुझे पहले वो प्रूव करना पड़ेगा आपको, बाकी ये सारे पेपर दिखा के कि कैसे। अगर 5 ऑप्शंस होते हैं उसमें से 3 सही होंगे तो हमें उसके ऑप्शंस में से रॉन्ग, जैसे लॉजिक्स है, देखो लॉजिक अप्लाई होता है, नो डाउट इन दैट, बट उसको हम ट्रिक्स लॉजिक्स नहीं बोलना है हमें, उसको अप्लाइड नॉलेज और एनी अदर थोड़ा सा सोफिस्टिकेटेड वर्ड यूज करो, कोई बात नहीं। बात क्या है ना कि हमें उस क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करना है, उसको सही से सॉल्व करना है, वो इंपॉर्टेंट है। और उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए 11 से 25 के या 11 से 24 के सारे क्वेश्चंस को देखना बहुत जरूरी है। वो पैटर्न है उसमें, 5 में से 3 सही
ओके।
होंगे। हाँ, वो मैं बताऊंगा, ठीक है, बट
ओके
पहले
सर।
आपको वो ट्रस्ट दिलाना है कि वो किस तरीके से पैटर्न वर्क करता है।
ओके सर।
ओके।
थैंक यू।
यस
Sir,
यस यस।
mm, do you upload that document which you have taken help during the explanation of paper?
Yeah, I'll upload it, don't worry.
Okay, sir.
सर
Thank you.
Yes.
सर एज यू सेड कि आप ये सब नोट्स और अपलोड करेंगे एंड वही पढ़ो, अभी बनाने का नोट्स समय नहीं है, like शॉर्ट नोट्स। सो जो
हम्म।
1 पेजर नोट्स अक्सर लोग बनाते हैं 1 वीक पहले रिपीटेड रिवीजन के लिए, तो वो
हम्म।
हम बनाना रहने दें, यही पढ़े या उसको
नहीं,
बनाना
वो
है
अगर
तो
आपके
भी?
1 पेजर नोट्स आपको बनाना है ना तो आप बना सकते हो, जैसे कि कोई फैक्ट्स है, इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल्स है या
हाँ।
फिर आपको पॉलिटी के कुछ ऐसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंटर्स बनाने हैं, कोई कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडीज, स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडीज के रिलेटेड बनाना है, वो आप बना सकते हो। जैसे इकोनॉमी का 1 पेजर होता है, वो आप कर सकते हो। बट इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू मेक नोट्स ऑन ईच एंड एवरी ऑप्शन ना। नाउ नाउ इज नॉट द राइट टाइम। फिर आपका पूरा टाइम उसमें चला जाएगा, देन व्हेन विल यू रिवाइज स्टैटिक,
यस
और
सर,
व्हेन
ये
विल
बहुत
यू।
टाइम टेकिंग है।
हाँ,
मैं जब
yes, yes, I know that it is very very time consuming, so it is not possible.
तो सर जैसे कि आप कह रहे हैं कि आप कुछ कुछ अपने 30-29 पेजेस के ज्योग्राफी के नोट्स डाल रहे हैं, तो लाइक
हम्म
मेरे जो ज्योग्राफी के नोट्स है वो कंप्लीट है, मैंने उसको बहुत बार अभी रिवाइज भी किया है 1-2 बार।
हम्म
तो
हम्म
उसमें लेकिन मेंस का भी है, मेरे कोचिंग के नोट्स उसमें मेंस का भी है, प्री का भी
हम्म
है। तो
हम्म।
वो अभी उसको पढ़ना छोड़ के आप वाले पढूं या फिर स्टिल में वही
नहीं नहीं
पढूं
नहीं, आपने
जो
आपने जो
हाईलाइटेड है
पढ़ा है
जो?
उसको पढ़ना है आपको, आपको सोर्स चेंज नहीं करना है बिल्कुल भी। बट
ओके।
एक होता है ना कि आधे घंटे में जस्ट गो थ्रू करना उस नोट से, अगर आपको लगता है कि उसमें कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं जो आपके नोट्स में नहीं है, बस वही पढ़ना जो
ओके,
ऑलरेडी
वो
आपने कवर
ऐड कर
किया।
दूं?
हाँ, वो ऐड करना है खाली, तो आपका टाइम भी बच जाएगा और कुछ वैल्यू एडिशन भी मिल जाएगा आपको।
एंड सर आप जो पीवाईक्यू के टेस्ट डाल रहे हैं, तो
हम्म
मैं उसमें क्या करती हूँ कि जब उसमें जो जो चीज़ें रॉन्ग हो रही है मैं वो टॉपिक लिख ले रही हूँ,
हम्म
लेकिन फिर मैं क्या सोचती हूँ कि मैं उसके 1 पेजर बनाऊंगी, क्योंकि
हम्म
वो टॉपिक थोड़ा मेरा बार बार रॉन्ग हो रहा है। बट वो
हम्म
बहुत
हम्म हम्म
समय लेता है, क्योंकि मैं अपने नोट्स आगे पीछे कर रही, तो एक चीज बनाने में बहुत समय लगता है। तो वो
हम्म।
कैसे करूँ, या तो उसको पढ़ लूँ या फिर स्टिल बनाऊँ?
नहीं, बस अभी अभी नोट्स बनाने के चक्कर में ही मत पड़ना कोई भी, मतलब मेरा तो ये सजेशन रहेगा, अभी बस आपको वो कंसेप्ट क्लियर करनी है, क्योंकि वो नोट्स नहीं बनने वाले, वो उसको बनेंगे तो फिर वो रिवीजनों के लिए टाइम नहीं मिलेगा। बेटर ये है कि जो टॉपिक हमारा रॉन्ग हो रहा है या फिर जो एरिया लग रहा है कि इट इज वेरी वीक और वी आर नॉट एबल टू रिवाइज इट, जस्ट ओपन दैट टॉपिक एंड रीड दैट टॉपिक ओनली। जैसे कि अभी सपोज पॉलिटी में पढ़, मतलब पॉलिटी का क्वेश्चन हो, सॉल्व कर रहा करते करते सीएजी का क्वेश्चन मेरा रॉन्ग हो गया, तो तुरंत क्या करना है कि सीएजी का टॉपिक उठाओ, सीएजी के बारे में पढ़ो और फिर आगे का क्वेश्चन देखो। एंड
और
जो
पढ़ने।
मिस्टेक्स हम कर रहे हैं, जो मिस्टेक्स
हाँ
हमसे
हाँ।
हो रही है ना, उसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा थॉट देना जरूरी है। जैसे मैंने क्या बोला था कि मिस्टेक्स को हमें कैटेगराइज करना है 3 4 पार्ट में, कि रिवीजन की वजह से हो रहा है या फिर
हम्म।
रिवीजन भी किया, पढ़ा भी, फिर भी सिली मिस्टेक हो रहा है। तो कई बार ये होता है ना कि सिली मिस्टेक की वजह से हमारे बहुत क्वेश्चंस रॉन्ग हो रहे हैं, तो अगर हमने सिली मिस्टेक्स भी इंप्रूव किए फिर भी हमारा स्कोर इंप्रूव होगा।
सर जैसे मेरा रिकॉल वाले बहुत गलत हो रहे हैं रिकॉल की वजह से, और
हम्म
सोर्स
हम्म
इशू मेरे तीन
हम्म
चार सोर्स इशूज है, तो ये दोनों
हम्म
कैसे एड्रेस करूँ, सोर्स
हम्म
इशू और रिकॉल वाले?
हम्म। देखो, एक बात तो है कि जो हमारा सिलेबस है वो पूरा समंदर की तरह वास्ट है, इतना तो पक्का
हम्म।
जानते हैं सब लोग। सारी की सारी चीजें रिकॉल होना पॉसिबल नहीं है। इसीलिए पेपर सॉल्विंग टेक्निक्स का भी पता होना बहुत जरूरी है हमारा। तो सारी चीजें रिकॉल नहीं करनी है उसको, जैसे अगर कुछ कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट हिस्टोरिकल फैक्ट्स है तो उसके न्यूमोनिक्स बना के हम उसको याद रख सकते हैं, या फिर जो फैक्ट्स है इंपॉर्टेंट उसको हम याद रखने की कोशिश कर सकते हैं। बाकी किसी चीज को याद रखने की कोशिश मत करना, नहीं तो फिर वो मतलब प्रेशर आ जाएगा, स्ट्रेस आ जाएगा, और स्ट्रेस सिचुएशन में फिर सही क्वेश्चन भी गलत हो जाते हैं। ज्यादातर
सर पर
फोकस इस पे
जैसे
करना। हेलो। यस, एक 1 सेकंड। ज्यादातर फोकस उस पे करना है कि हमारा जो टेक्निक है, लॉजिक जो है, उसको किस तरीके से हम अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, कॉमन सेंस को किस तरीके से अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, अभी उस पे उसको डेवलप करना है। अभी नॉलेज देखो,
एंड
ट्रस्ट योर नॉलेज, यू हैव रीड अ
हम्म
लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स। अभी बहुत कुछ पढ़ा है, बहुत कुछ रिवाइज किया है, नोट्स बने हैं, सब कुछ रेडी है, अभी अप्लाई करना है। एंड दिस इज द राइट टाइम टू डेवलप योर माइंडसेट, टू अप्लाई योर नॉलेज एंड योर एक्सपीरियंस। अब हमने जो गलतियां की,
सोर्स
हाँ, सोर्स मिनिमाइज करने हैं, अभी नया सोर्स
सोर्स
बिल्कुल यूज
इश्यूज,
नहीं करना है।
जो
हाँ।
सोर्स इश्यूज वाले हैं, सोर्स इश्यूज में आपने लिखा था कि जो हमने पढ़ा ही नहीं कभी, तो सोर्स
हम्म।
इश्यूज वाले में क्या करना है कि उसको पढ़ना है, रीड करना
हाँ,
बार बार।
उसके बारे में बस उतनी ही इंफॉर्मेशन जितनी उस क्वेश्चन में दी हुई है, क्योंकि उतनी ही इंपॉर्टेंट है।
एंड सर
अब
पूरा दिन में चीजें जैसे सी सेट और ये सब करते करते ना मेरा मैगजीन छूट जाता है, जैसे पीटी 365 है, तो अभी मैं
हम्म
उसको छोड़ ही दूँ, वो टेस्ट के थ्रू और इस सब के थ्रू हो जाएगा, या फिर मैं स्टिल टाइम निकाल के करूँ पीटी
नहीं,
थ्री
1 1.5 घंटा
65?
टाइम निकालो करंट अफेयर्स के लिए। मैंने जैसे बोला ना कि हमने आज 50 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किए, उसमें करंट अफेयर्स
हम्म
का कोई भी क्वेश्चन था, उसमें कोई ऐसा हर्डल आया हमें नहीं ना। हर एक
नो।
क्वेश्चन पेपर में ऐसा ही फील होगा कि आपको जब भी अब आगे आगे पेपर सॉल्व करते रहोगे ना, यू विल नोटिस वन थिंग, कि करंट अफेयर्स कहीं काम में ही नहीं आ रहा है हमारे, या फिर स्टैटिक वाला जो पोर्शन के ऊपर कमांड है ना हमारी, इसके वजह से सारे क्वेश्चन आराम से सॉल्व हो रहे हैं। तो करंट अफेयर्स के बारे में ज्यादा सोचना नहीं है, करंट अफेयर्स बस अवेयरनेस के लिए पढ़ना है, कि एक
ओके।
हमें डर नहीं होना चाहिए हमारे माइंड में कि मैंने पढ़ा नहीं। तो जल्दी जल्दी इसको फटाफट से इंपॉर्टेंट जो क्या हेडलाइन क्या थी, क्या क्या 4 5 पॉइंट है, क्योंकि वो याद नहीं रहेगा। करंट अफेयर्स इतना वास्ट है, कैसे याद करोगे, पॉसिबल ही नहीं है। और हमने भी नहीं किया कभी याद, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, 100+ स्कोर आया हमेशा, तो उसको डरना नहीं है। प्रायोरिटी, टॉप प्रायोरिटी है आपकी स्टैटिक, पीवाईक्यूज, सी सेट, एंड देन लास्ट प्रायोरिटी इज करंट अफेयर्स। तो करंट अफेयर्स डेली बस 1 1.5 घंटा उसको देख लो, ऊपर ऊपर से जो जो चीजें हाईलाइट की हुई है उसको देख लो, पढ़ो, अंडरलाइन की हुई चीजें, एंड आगे बढ़ो, दैट्स इट।
ओके, ठीक है।
Hello,
ओके
sir.
देन।
One more doubt.
यस, यस, यस,
So will you
Uh,
take a session on CSAT, sir, like keyword
yes,
specific?
yes. CSAT, I have requested my one of my friend who has scored 135 marks in CSAT, and he may be in this session also. He has got a very good score, 135 continuously 2 years, and I have prepared my CSAT along with him. So we will both conduct this Zoom session, especially for CSAT in afternoon, today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow, some like according to his convenience. Okay, and I will tell you how to score at least 85 number in CSAT. Don't worry. How to solve
Oh,
reading comprehension and which topics you should focus. And even we are planning to share his notes that we have made on like a number system and percentage and etc etc, those important low hanging fruits. Okay, we'll share that,
okay.
don't worry. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
uh,
हेलो।
Hi,
Yeah.
sir. Sir, I have a question on AMAC and mapping. So, sir, उसमें आप बताएंगे क्या कि AMAC में, because there's a lot of things to remember.
Hmm.
So उसके लिए what is the correct approach to go by? And for the mapping, since
Hmm.
right now like a lot of Middle East is in news.
Hmm.
So there's this Sudarshan sir ka playlist where he have comprehensively covered, but I have not able to cover, like I've covered 2 3 continents, but I have not able to cover it all. So what is the correct way to go about it?
Hmm. See, for mapping you should give at least 1 hour daily. Okay, bring the blank maps.
Hmm.
What I have done, that
Hmm.
I'm telling you, I brought the
Hmm.
blank maps and I used to fill it. Okay, first
ठीक है.
of all, count continent wise mapping you should do first, all the 7 continents. Then you should do region wise, like West Asia is in news, so that is very complicated, you should do more or more practice. Then Russia Ukraine war is going on, Iran Israel crisis is going on, so whatever places in the news, that becomes most important. And Sudarshan Gurjar sir is very
Hmm.
very like very good in like that. So I used to
Yeah.
watch his videos during my preparation times. So I used to fill those blank maps daily. I was very poor in mapping actually. That is why I had to do that on daily basis. Even tiger
So,
reserves, wildlife sanctuaries, and even dances, classical music dances, that are I have done that mapping. I'll share that in my in group, that mapping wala. I have a soft copy of that. I'll share that. You should do that mapping practice on daily basis. That will help you, definitely help you.
Okay, and so
And
for AMAC?
for ancient, medieval, and culture, I have shared my notes first of all. Second,
Yeah.
only previous year questions are more than sufficient for ancient, medieval, and culture because of some logics. Okay. For example, you have to read some like NCRT, and there are some boxes that for keywords. Medieval culture, they ask the like very tough that keywords. I do not remember. I never remember those keywords, but I used to revise them, and I solved each and every paper. And for the ancient, medieval, and culture, I solved questions from 1979 onwards. I have prepared the list also, and I will definitely share that in the group. The questions and themes get repeated. Actually, themes get repeated. UPSC will not ask question randomly. UPSC asks questions on the same theme that has been asked before, like 2 years or 3 years or 10 years back. So the for ancient, medieval, and culture, go through all the questions. At least the list I will share. Go through that list and make sure that you know something about that.
ठीक है. And sir, आपने स्टेट पीसीसी क्वेश्चंस भी किए थे क्या एमएक के लिए या फिर सिर्फ
हाँ,
यूपीएससी?
मैंने ये घटना चक्र किया था after doing all 1979 onwards questions. So my preparation was around previous year questions only. So for ancient, medieval, I solved all the like घटना चक्र.
Okay.
That helped me a lot. हिंदी मीडियम के लिए, हिंदी मीडियम के बच्चों के लिए वही है, घटना चक्र अच्छे से सॉल्व करो, प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस ही है. सी प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस आप इतनी बार सुनोगे ना मेरे मुंह से, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि मेरा प्री मेंस बस प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस की वजह से ही निकला है. इवन मेरा सिलेक्शन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस की वजह से हुआ है. देयर इज नो अदर अल्टरनेटिव टू प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस, नो अदर अल्टरनेटिव. एंड सम
सर
स्टैटिक पार्ट लाइक 3 to 4 लो हैंगिंग फ्रूट्स. यस
हेलो सर.
यस यस.
सर जैसे अभी आपने ये सेशन किया, 50 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व भी किए, तो अभी अभी नेक्स्ट आफ्टर हमारा क्या अप्रोच होना चाहिए? मतलब अभी इस क्वेश्चंस को हमको दोबारा सॉल्व करना चाहिए बिना पेपर, मतलब
आपको इस
आपने तो
यस
सॉल्व किया
यस
है.
ये क्वेश्चंस आपको क्या करना है ना, कि आप एक काम करो कि एक स्पाइरल बाइंडिंग का एक नोटबुक बना दो. 2011 से 25 के यूपीएससी के पेपर डाउनलोड करके उसका एक नोटबुक ही बना दो, और रोज उस क्वेश्चंस को गो थ्रू करना है खाली. ठीक है. जस्ट गो थ्रू करो. अभी जैसे आज के 50 क्वेश्चंस हुए ना, तो उस 50 क्वेश्चंस को 10 मिनट लगेंगे आपको रिवाइज करने के लिए. बिकॉज अब तो मुझे लग रहा है कि जब हम कुछ बात जब सुनते हैं तो वो ज्यादा अच्छे से याद रहती है. तो जो जो लॉजिक्स मैंने बताए हुए हैं, वो लॉजिक्स को नोट करके रखना है, उस लॉजिक्स को अप्लाई करना है, बार बार उसको यूज करना है. और ये लॉजिक जो है वो बस और यूपीएससी के ही पेपर पे अप्लाई होता है. विजन, फोरम, किसी भी पेपर पे अप्लाई नहीं होंगे.
अच्छा, तो सर ये जो
हाँ
आपने जैसे अभी सेम सेट ऑफ सीक्वेंस अभी हम कहीं से डाउनलोड करेंगे, वहाँ पे दूसरा सीक्वेंस हो गया, तो इससे अच्छा ये है कि सर आप अनसॉल्व्ड ही साथ में शेयर कर देना अगर आपके पास है तो, इसका सॉल्व्ड के साथ, ताकि उसको निकाल के एक बार हम भी प्रैक्टिस कर लेंगे अपने से कि हम ये ट्रिक्स को लगा पा रहे हैं नहीं.
हाँ, तो ठीक है. कल से वही करेंगे हम लोग, कि जब भी सेशन चलता रहेगा आप लोगों के पास वो पेपर होना चाहिए साथ में.
हाँ
तो
एग्जैक्टली,
जैसे
मतलब
जैसे क्वेश्चन
अनसॉल्व भी
आएगा
रहेगा
उसी पे
हमारे
आप
पास तो. हाँ हाँ हाँ
अनसॉल्व पेपर
एग्जैक्टली.
रखो. अनसॉल्व पेपर रखो और उसमें नोट करते रहना. जैसे मैं यहाँ से बताते रहूंगा वो नोट करते रहना, सो दैट वो वहीं पे रिवीजन भी होगा और अप्लीकेशन ऑफ ये भी होगा. और जैसे जैसे आगे क्वेश्चंस आएंगे ना, आपको वो पता चलेगा कि
हाँ
ये इतना हेल्प कर रहा है ना, और बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा इससे.
हाँ सर, उससे वो कुछ लिखना होगा हम वहीं लिख लेंगे, और स्क्रीन
हाँ,
पे
वही
कभी
ऑन द
दिखता
स्पॉट
भी
लिख.
नहीं है वो.
यस एग्जैक्टली,
हाँ
लिख देना वहीं पे. जब भी मैं जो इन्फॉर्मेशन बता रहा हूँ, जो इंपॉर्टेंट है वही बता रहा हूँ. तो बाकी वो जो पीडीएफ भी मैं शेयर करूंगा, उसमें से भी आपको बस हाईलाइटेड पार्ट ही पढ़ना है. सारी चीज पढ़ते नहीं बैठनी है उसमें.
हाँ सर, तो सर शेयर कर दीजिएगा सर्कल से आप.
यस यस यस.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
चलो.
Sir, how you
चलो
have
फिर.
managed these 30 days, sir? Like how you have divided a day in these 30 days, sir? Last one.
So last 30 days are most important 30 days, and you have to focus on the static and previous year question solving. Uh, Equal importance should be given to the CSAT, because CSAT is a killer. You know everything. I have been the victim of CSAT 2 or 3 times. So मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि in these 30 days focus on quality, economics, and geography. These three static part. Rest of the science and environment, current affairs से cover हो जाता है. Solve maximum previous year questions. Don't worry about the scores that you are like if anybody is getting very low score in private coaching tests, real time tests, don't worry about it. Just solve previous year questions. Whenever you get demotivated or sometimes like you're getting low score, already solved paper, because what is important is your positive attitude, your positive mindset. That will help you. Okay. So in last 30 days, keep solving UPSC previous year questions, and for 2026 attempt, 24, 25, and like 23, 22, these 4 to 5 papers are very, very important. So go through those papers again and again, again and again. Okay. In my last attempt, this 2025 prelims, I solved only 2011 to 25 or 24 papers. That's it. And gone through my like these short notes only. I have not read current affairs intensively. I have just gone through the indexes. Less is more. Always believe in that. And believe your hunch. If you believe that option A is the right answer, don't change it. you must have experienced it. You have changed in second round and you found out that the first answer was correct. Okay.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yes, yes.
सर मतलब मेरे को ये पूछना था कि प्रीवियस ईयर करने का ऐसे दो तरीका हो सकता है कि मतलब पेपर वाइज आइदर हम लोग नॉर्मली जो आंसर्स होते हैं उनको पढ़ते जाएं और जो स्टैटिक पोर्शन है उसको मतलब ऐसे दिमाग में तो वो रहता ही है तो वो सॉल्वेबल तो होता ही है, थोड़ा बहुत ऐसे जो गैप होता है तो वो हम फिल कर सकते हैं. दूसरा वे कुड बी कि हम जो क्वेश्चंस हैं उनके आंसर्स लिख लें, मतलब नॉट ऑफ स्टैटिक, ऐसे मान लो जो साइंस टेक के हैं तो अगर कोई एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड है या फिर एमेक वगैरह में तो ये बहुत ही हेल्प करते हैं कि चारों ऑप्शंस को एक्सप्लोर करके थोड़ा थोड़ा उनके बारे में जान ले कि ये साइट कहाँ है वो साइट कहाँ है, तो ऐसे करके. तो इन दोनों में से सर बेटर कौन सा है?
बेटर वे होगा कि आप ईयर वाइज पेपर सॉल्व करो, क्योंकि देखो आपने अभी तक बहुत सारी चीजें की हुई है. लास्ट 30 डेज है, अब तक आपने ऑलमोस्ट सारा स्टैटिक पार्ट कवर किया होगा, करंट भी आपका ऑलमोस्ट कवर है. तो दिस इज द टाइम टू रिवाइज एवरीथिंग. और एक होता है ना, मगअप करने का टाइम आ चुका है अभी. इसको क्या करना है कि पेपर लेना है, 4 ऑप्शंस होंगे, जिसके बारे में पता नहीं है बस उसी के बारे में पढ़ना है, तो उससे टाइम बच जाएगा. जो चीज आपको ऑलरेडी पता है, जैसे कि अगर आपने मुगल एम्पायर के बारे में ऑलरेडी पढ़ा है और उनके टाइम के बारे में, तो रिपीटेड इस पे नहीं करना है. 2014 में अजंता केव्स के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आया, उसमें मैंने अजंता केव्स के बारे में डिटेल पढ़ा. अगेन क्वेश्चन केम्स इन 2015 अजंता पे आया, तो फिर उस टाइम पे अजंता के बारे में पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है. इसलिए ईयर वाइज पेपर हमें करना बहुत जरूरी है. जो शुरुआत के अभी जैसे कि 2011, 12 और 13 का पेपर जो था, मैंने जो जब किया था उस टाइम पे मेरे सबसे ज्यादा बल्कि नोट्स उसी में बने, 11, 12 और 13 में. उसके बाद थोड़ा थोड़ा कम होते गया क्योंकि चीजें रिपीट होने लगी.
ओके सर, मे बी मेरे टाइम पे ऐसे ही हो क्योंकि अभी मैंने केवल 24 और 23 का किया तो उसमें थोड़ा बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लग रहा है. मे बी जब मैं और प्रीवियस ईयर पे जाऊंगी तो टाइम कम लगने लगेगा. तो मेरा डायलेमा यही था कि मतलब थोड़ा थोड़ा डर स्टैटिक का भी लग रहा है, स्टैटिक के लिए कम टाइम दे पा रही हूँ, प्रीवियस ईयर में थोड़ा ज्यादा टाइम जा रहा है अगर प्रोपोर्शनलिटी देखे तो बस वही लग रहा था कि स्टैटिक छूट रहा है.
नहीं, मैं तो ये सजेस्ट करूंगा कि इफ यू आर अटेंडिंग दिस सेशन ना, तो अभी उसमें ज्यादा टेंशन लेने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है. ज्यादा उसको टाइम भी मत करो, अपना स्टैटिक रिवाइज करो अच्छे से दिन भर में. और जब हम रात के 9 बजे सेशंस लेंगे उस टाइम पे कर लो. रिपीट नहीं होनी चाहिए कोई भी एफर्ट. अगर आप अलग से भी कर रहे हो फिर यहाँ के भी कर रहे हो तो ज्यादा टाइम उसमें जा रहा है. तो वो वाला टाइम आप दिन भर क्या करो ना, जितने भी बच्चे सारे सुन रहे हैं, दिन भर आप स्टैटिक अच्छे से रिवाइज कर लो, आपका पूरा सीसेट करके आओ, और शाम के टाइम पे ये पेपर सॉल्विंग मेरे साथ रखो. तो इसमें मैं आपको पेपर सॉल्व भी करूंगा, साथ में कुछ कुछ चीजें एक्सप्लेन भी करूंगा. आप ब्लैंक पेपर भी अपने साथ रखना, आप भी उसके साथ सॉल्व करते रहना. तो कितना भी टाइम लगेगा, रात के 12 भी बजने दो, हम सॉल्व करेंगे उसको.
ओके सर,
ठीक है, तो एफर्ट्स बच जाएंगे फिर. हाँ
Sir, can we use that what Vajiram has released prelims measure for?
yes, you are not audible. Can you repeat it?
Can we use that what Vajiram has released prelims measure for static revision?
I don't know about that book actually. If it is like if you have read already that book, you can use. But right now, don't use any new resource. No new resource, please.
Okay, sir.
Stick to your original resource that you have. Suppose you have, if you have read NCERT or if you have read M. Lakshmikant for polity, do not go for Subhash Kashyap or do not go for any other book. You should use that only. Okay.
Okay.
चलो फिर कल मिलते हैं फिर 9 बजे and we'll cover remaining questions. Thank you very much for joining and thanks for encouraging me also.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you very much. Good night all. Yes, thank
Thank
you and
you,
all the
sir.
best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for this excellent session.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.